podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You never get Deontay Wilder up. It's just one of those things where you take great pride out of doing. I really did what I said I was going to do. Not many people in boxing especially say something and then do exactly what they said they were going to do. So I was quite proud of the performance. And I'm really looking forward to getting all this coronavirus out of the way and getting the world back on track and getting back to my job.
Hey, Daddy, this is $1 beat.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dazn Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar though. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Canelo had the biggest deal. Your deal was for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on an app.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dazn Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another glorious Monday morning. Thank the big man upstairs. We're all up, and we're here to talk some boxing. On today's agenda, we got Tyson Fury really trolling Wilder, talking about how easy the fight was. Now he's coming out saying that Wilder's only taking the third fight for money. He's actually saying that Wilder probably has some bills. He's taking shots at all American fighters and says that they want to live their life like rock stars. So we got a lot to talk about when it comes to the main topic, but then we got two fantastic guests. At 9:30 in about 27 minutes, we're going to be having former boxing manager Adrian Clark, now turned kind of advisor to Fight Network in Canada, and he's going to be providing boxing content for that channel. So we wanted to get him on because he's managed a lot of names in the industry, and you're going to be very interested in that interview. But then we got even something a little bit even better, more juicy. You know, since we're talking Fury, since he's got all these allegations about gloves and glove gates and conspiracies, well, the man to start this whole thing, to put it actually in motion, not really get a lot of traction. People didn't really believe him, but the more you do your research, his trainer is talking about it, giving some specific quotes about, you know, Ben Davison once upon a time when they were at the sparring session. I mean, look, I know you've heard the gossip more than I have, and you probably got more details, but Nicholas Asbury will be on the show. He's also just signed a new managerial deal, so he'll probably be getting his career back on track. He really hasn't boxed since, I think, 2016, last time I checked his box rec. But now that he's under a new manager, maybe they're going to be getting him some fights. He's under the MSM Pole Management. It's out of London, so that's a good question. How do you hook up with a London-based manager? And maybe that had to do with some of the, Fury glove scandal going viral, kind of giving his name that attention. He has a video on his social media that we're going to share with you as well, where he's kind of showing you the alleged gloves that could have belonged to Tyson Fury, that Fury allegedly used during a sparring session with Nicholas Asbury. Look, we'll get the whole story from him, but those are our two guests. This is our main topic, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Is Wilder really taking this fight just for the money? Does he have bills to pay, as Fury's indicating, or is this just Tyson Fury kind of being the troll that he is? But let me go on out to my co-host, and before I do that, you know the number to call in Absolutely free from anywhere in the world. 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, if you want to ask any one of our guests a question, you can head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Look for the respected post. Drop your question. Have it asked to either of our guests. Let me head on out to New Jersey Zone.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious.
Champ! Coming to you live from New Jersey, the Boxing Voice. Here in the morning with Nestor Gibbs. Get your cup of Joe, your cup of tea. If you across the pond, we got some boxing talk for you. Been a little under the weather. Apologize for not being on, Mr. Ness, but I think I need a multivitamin.
Nah, man. Look, coronavirus, you know, it's
It
crazy
scares
out here.
me.
You
I'm
got to
just
be
like-
careful. So if you're feeling under the weather, you got to take all the precautions.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
You already know.
Coronavirus!
It's crazy out here, so you
I'm
got to
telling
be
you,
careful.
it's
But listen, man, you've kind of changed your stance on Tyson Fury. The more and more allegations are coming out. We're going to be having Nick Asbury at 10 a.m. I know you've seen his social media posts insinuating, claiming, alleging that Tyson Fury took padding out of his sparring gloves to spar with him. Now, at first, I'm going to be honest. Before I got him on the show, I never, ever did any research. I seen his Instagram post, and I'm like, why would Fury leave the gloves behind is what I said. But his trainer has a tweet where he's discussing it, and in that tweet, he says that Ben Davidson, acknowledged it and reached out to him or something like that. I got the story. I'll pull it up. Oh, you seen it? And I'm just like, wait a minute. And they even used the word, we know it was dodgy gloves. I'm like, wait a minute. So
There's a term for that.
yeah, no, listen, we gotta get Nick on and get the details, but let's stick to the main topic until we get our first and second guest. Tyson Fury trolling Wilder, and I quote, he's taking a third fight for money. Do you really think Wilder is taking his third fight for money? I mean, there's way more than what Fury said. He's really coming at Wilder. He basically said he didn't expect the fight to be that easy. He thought it was going to be his toughest test, and he walked through that. He actually went as far as to be, I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not, but he's like, man, that wasn't even Wilder. I trained for a monster. That just didn't look like him. Maybe he wasn't lying about the heavy costume. Maybe he wasn't lying about having a broken bone in his back. And that's when I said, wait a minute. He never mentioned a broken bone in his back. Tyson is trolling out here, man.
It's spinal.
Yeah, no. Look, what's my man's name? Mike Tyson said the same thing. You know, look, I broke my back. Meanwhile, he was standing straight up. So I don't know. But what do you think? Is this Tyson Fury trolling, or does he really feel like, look, this guy's not on my level? I trained, I thought he was, but he's not.
Well, let's get one thing straight. This is exactly what he said when the fight was over, when he was on the post conference after the fight. You know, they asked him if he would fight again. He said, if he wants to fight me again, I give him the same beating. So, he just feels like he's just, after this last performance with Wilder, he just feels like he's already got the Wild Vinci code down packed. Like, he knows how to beat him. He's trolling though, man. What the hell else am I fighting for if it's not for money? I'm a prize fighter. I fight for a prize. So all that bullshit talk, I don't know where Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury's always got something under his words. He's always got like a plan or a direction where he wants people to look or pay attention to. But, you're fighting for a prize. Yeah, he's fighting for the money. Yeah, he's taking the third fight. So I don't know where his stance is with all this shit. But he's trolling.
He said something about
what bills are we talking about though?
He said something about Americans and how as athletes we think we're rock stars and we run through our money, and Wilder's probably only taking a third fight because he's got bills.
Okay, so here comes along Tyson Fury, the self-righteous Gypsy King, right? Now he's self-righteous. Now he's better than everybody. Now he knows the key to life. Listen, Tyson Fury. Relax, champ. You still got to prove
I
it a
mean,
third time.
I mean, isn't that the way that it works when you're a born again Christian? You know, he gave his life to God. He it's a rebirth. So, you know, that's what happens. No.
Yeah, I'm a little too early in making Tyson Fury a saint. Okay, you know, he hasn't been canonized just yet in my book. So,
I just think he's got to be trolling. Check out this headline. Challenge. Check out this headline. Challenge. Tyson Fury exclusive. Deontay Wilder wins was so easy. Maybe costume excuse was genuine. This is Wilder. I mean, this is Fury. So he has to be trolling. He's got to be trying to get under his skin.
Oh, definitely. And if I were Wilder, I'd be taking all of this as fuel to get it right this third time, man, because under these nice words and this guidance talk that he's talking about is trolling and disrespect. He's now starting to clown him and act as if he's serious, or he's trolling, but he's clowning Wilder right now big time, bro. He's clowning him, and he's talking in a way like Wilder's no threat anymore, you know? So if I was Wilder and I'm hearing this shit, I'm taking it as fuel, and you know, and I'm going in there and I'm going for the fucking kill. You know, I'm a hunter this time around. No back foot and new game plan. If I'm Wilder, use this as fuel, Wilder. You know, this guy's talking mad slick right now, and you know he has a reason to. It was a great performance. I'm not taking that away from Tyson, but what I am saying is that he's starting to seem very cocky, and I think. He's singing a win too early, man. This third fight is really going to be the decision, the final decision in my book. You know.
Now let me ask you: do you think that this can? I don't know. Does Tyson lose some motivation? Was the fight too easy that in the second fight he doesn't train as hard? I got some audio before you answer that. Let's get into some of this. We got a lot here.
Coming in, were you not a little bit surprised that he took the clause?
Yeah, I was surprised, really, because it was a one-sided fight. He didn't win a second of that second fight. But, you know, in this game, it's a short game.
Just for those that didn't hear that clearly, the interviewer asked him, were you surprised at all that Deontay Wilder took the third fight? He said, I was actually surprised because he didn't win a second of that fight at all. So I'm going to keep playing it, though.
Career. And there's an old saying, we've got to make hay while the sun shines. And for Deontay Wilder at the age of 34, how many big fights are left out there for him after a domination like he had? So I understand where he's coming from. I understand that he has probably a lot of bills to pay. I don't know the man's personal circumstances, but from what I've seen on these American fighters and sportsmen, they always live like a rock star's lifestyle, even though they're not rock stars.
Yeah, what do you mean rock star, bro?
He said Tyson, from what he sees, though. No, I get him. We can't act like our athletes don't dress and act like they're rappers.
I get him too, but like he can't. He's talking highly from a castle and all the and the Ferraris he got, and like, who's living like a rock star? You living like a rock star too, sir. So you know, I don't know where that's coming from. You ain't exactly living in a carriage like the old school gypsies. You know what I'm saying? So you know, last time I checked, you know, you got a reality series done with you, and you got a pretty nice house, and you're living very, very good. So, you know, all this shit right here, I think is just psychological warfare playing on Wilder.
I agree.
Wilder's probably looking at this, and he's like, you know, he probably doesn't know how to read him right now. He don't know if he's just trolling or he's that confident. It's psychological warfare, in my opinion. He didn't win a second of that fight. I mean, that's arguable, but you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to get in there in the ring, and you're gonna have to own up for everything you say. I've always been a guy, you know. That's why I always
does
like
this
DJ.
Motivate Wilder?
It better. If I'm Wilder, as soon as I lost, I took a break. I'm training. I'm letting go of everything. I'm becoming celibate, my friend. I didn't just get my ass whooped in front of the whole world. I came to the stage with this costume. Then I blame it on Wilder has to come in here, and I don't want to hear about pressure. All right, pressure has always been on top of a fighter from the beginning of his pro career. There's always pressure. He has to go in there with the will and the hunger to win. It's got to be more about the money. It's got to be. It's got to be about legacy. Money's not gonna give you that type of motivation, man. You know what I'm saying? And it depends, obviously, on who you are, because obviously Mayweather was motivated by money. But I think that deep down inside, and this is my opinion again, Mayweather was motivated by legacy. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to be remembered as the best. So, you know, just like the song says, sometimes you trade your passion for glory. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be passionate about this, man. You got to come back passionate, hungry, like you were when you first was trying to get it so you could provide. You need that hunger back, champ. You know what I'm saying? You need a Mick in your corner right now telling you to go hard, go home. I mean, no more yes men, no more okay, yeah, we're going to do what you want. We can't do what you want, champ. It ain't work your way.
Yeah, but how do you know people were doing what he wants? Sounds like you just assuming.
Well, I'm not assuming because you've said it yourself. A bunch of people that just agree. That kind of let him have his way at times. It can't be like that this way. It ain't work that way, champ. There has to be an adjustment, champ. This wasn't a fluke, champ. This was an honest outclass. You got outclassed, outmuscled. And if you want to sit here and we want to keep concentrating on a costume or whatever it is, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, did it affect him? Of course. Of course. You know, along with the fucking nerves that you get when you're having a huge fight like that, you know, that alone will get your legs a little shaky. You know, for those that performed in under the lights, you know, can attest to those type of experiences. But it was more than just the suit. It was the preparation, and I said it from the rip. So, of course, Tyson Fury's talking high and mighty right now. He feels confident. He feels like he could get in the champ's head right now, play with him. But this is psychological warfare.
This is exactly getting in Wilder's head. You know, he's got to hear this. He's got to have people tag him on this. You know, Fury definitely getting under his head. Let me get to some more of this audio.
They go for a lot of money quite quickly. We just look at Mike Tyson, went through like $1 billion or whatever he went through. So I'm sure that the money side of it is a tempting thing. I don't think he's too tempted to go in there and get an absolute beating like he did before. But he would be tempted by the amount of money that he would receive because they go through it quite quickly. Life is long, and the big fights are not so much out there as well.
Tyson, I've got something.
So he's still saying they go through the money quite quickly, and he's saying, look, he's not going to be tempted to get in there and get another butt whooping, but he'll get in there for the money. Here's his thoughts on the challenge of it all.
But do you watch back any of your fights? Have you watched back the Wilder fight?
I have watched it back. I think I've watched it twice now. I watched one yesterday and I watched one a few days ago, like beginning of last week. And to be honest, I was quite disappointed in the challenge that Wilder brung because I did train for 12 rounds at any pace, and I put myself through hell and back for 10 weeks in a training camp. And I prepared for the best fighter on the planet. I prepared for the most vicious puncher on the earth that's ever been. And I was quite disappointed because it wasn't the challenge that I expected. Although it was a fantastic victory for myself and it was a great fight, but it just didn't seem that Wilder maybe wasn't himself. Maybe all the excuses he made, some of them were true. Maybe his legs were sore from the costume. Maybe he did have the flu. Maybe he did have a broken arm or a bone in his back or whatever. You know, I'm not sure because that wasn't the Deontay Wilder that I prepared for. That wasn't the animal that I put myself through all those hours in training for. That was like a very, 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 like I said, it would be one of my easiest fights, and it was. I believe that was one of my easiest fights, apart from the early knockovers that I had. And on this level, you don't usually get that sort of easy victory with heavyweight champions.
I think that's what stuck out to me, bro. That he's like, it hasn't been this easy since the beginning of my career. Obviously, he said it in his UK slang, but he said it hasn't been this easy since the beginning of my career, and you don't get that type of a knockout at this level. And he's right. No one was expecting Wilder to be knocked out. Listen, when Fury was running around saying that, we thought he was trolling. We thought he was doing reverse psychology, telling you he's going for the knockout to only get into the ring and be the boxer that we know that he is. This not only shocked the world, but shocked definitely Deontay Wilder with the change of pace and style.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. He's he's talking very high and mighty again. This wasn't the Wilder I was waiting for. Wasn't the challenge. You damn well know that the first fight was definitely a challenge. After the fight and you won, you said it was easy.
Well, I mean, the Fury fans believe that the first fight was an outclassing where Fury was robbed.
Yeah, we can go ahead and debate on that, but the fact of the matter is that he was on the canvas, knocking on St. Peter's gate or up there in heaven. Okay, so he's not going to sit there and say that the first fight was easy. We could debate on who was the better boxer, who had this, who had that, but the fight was not easy. So you already know that you're fighting a champ. Second fight, he looks like shit. You don't believe it. You talk about excuses, but now all of a sudden it's like you're making your bed for losing. Now you're saying, oh, maybe that wasn't the guy. Maybe that wasn't the preparation. Maybe he did have a broken bone. So I don't know if he's making his bed comfortable now just in case, or maybe the camp did really find out some things about Wilder being maybe injured or whatnot. I don't know. I don't want to get into conspiracies, but he's definitely softening it up. Like, maybe this wasn't Wilder. Maybe he is expecting a hell of a fight this turnaround, and he's trying to talk about it in a easy manner, like it's all good. I think Fury knows what he's in for this time around. Maybe this time he was just overconfident. Maybe he, the talks that have been in the public is true. Maybe he just, he was just doing whatever he thought he can do, and maybe he cut corners. Again, this is just conspiracies, because I don't know for sure exactly how his camp went. I wasn't one of the ones there throughout the whole thing. So, but in the end of the day, Fury talks as if now he's expecting a game Wilder. So
I don't know. See, you're taking it, I think, deeper than me. I think this goes as far as just trolling. That's it. Like, this was an easy fight. I trained 12 months for this tough monster, and this was an easy fight. He's trolling Wilder. Those words are only going to affect Wilder, or we could only assume they will affect Wilder. I just don't see the need to do the whole reverse psychology. We thought he was doing that the first time when he said he was going for the knockout. So why would he, resort to reverse psychology now? He's already beaten you essentially twice.
I mean, unless he feels so confident that he can talk in this matter, you know what I'm saying? When a guy's really, really confident, he's going to talk like, as if he's like not even the one fighting, you know what I mean? Like, he's just, it's this time around, it'll probably be different. He probably had, a messed up hand. Like, I just don't know where that talk comes from, if it's a troll or is genuinely him kind of softening up for what's to come in the third fight. Obviously, no fighter really prepares to lose or anything like that, but something that he knows might have put him in that state of mind where he's talking in that way, because sure as hell wasn't talking like that after the fight. After the fight, he, and even weeks after the fight, he wasn't very nice. He wasn't saying or agreeing that he was messed up or anything like that. So I don't know. It's a little strange. Like I said, Wilder he has to come back in this fight and go for, put all his passion in it and go back to that place of hunger, that place of grit where maybe he lost sight of, man. Fury's a troll. He's been a troll. He's a hell of a talker. He can talk his ass off, and he can get in your head. He can get in your head. So, screw the mind games. Screw it all. Let's go to work and let's bring this title back to America.
World, and the guy's been heavyweight champion of the world. I made 10 title defences, knocked out every single person. And to go in there with me, who's usually a boxer, counter-puncher, master skilled boxer, and get absolutely destroyed in a few rounds, which is saying I trained for an absolute battle royale, and I didn't get that. So hopefully there is a couple of fighters out there that when I do go into training camp and I do serious training, that they will be worthy of the challenge. Because I'm not in boxing to be the heavyweight champion or to win some belts or anything. I'm here to give the fans what they want, battle royales and the best fights that can be made. From what I'm seeing, if that's the best that's out there, then I'm not going to get the worthy challenges that I crave. And, going back to the days of Hector and Achilles, them two were made for each other. And I thought that he was my Hector and I was his Achilles. And it turned out that he wasn't. He was just another soldier who came and got slain.
All right, Tyson.
Greasy.
My man took it to Troy. And he ain't even say Wilder was Achilles. He's like, you Hector, motherfucker. I'm dragging you back out the motherfucker on the floor.
Yo, and that's why I said it's trolling. That's why I said it's trolling. I don't think that it is anything other than that.
Nah, he's a great talker, man. This guy's slick. He's a great talker, and
isn't that the worst part?
Yeah, I mean
I think that's the worst part because he speaks so well, and he can just troll you, bruh, nonstop. Like, how does Wilder get this out of his head to focus on training? I don't know.
Nah, again, this all of this, it could just be fuel, man. Fuel. You got to be a disciplined killer. Controlled chaos, I like to call it. You know what I'm saying? When you go in, you got to be a controlled killer, man. You got to take all of what you see in the media and hone that shit and drive it through the fucking man in front of you. You can't allow him to get in your head, Wilder. You can't, brother. You got to be able to take all this fucking energy. And if you want, just shut off the fucking the social media. Some fighters do that. You know what I mean? Remember, you're fighting for legacy now. This ain't just for a check. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Each individual feels different. You know what I'm saying? Each individual boxer feels different. Some for money, some for glory, some for both, some for family. In Wilder's case, it was his daughter that was the motivating factor at that time where he needed it. You got to go back to that time, brother, to that time where this fight gotta mean everything to you. You gotta go to sleep when the sun sets, man. You gotta get up when the sun rises. You gotta drink and eat the right thing. You gotta do everything perfect, just like Fury did for you. Fury sacrificed everything in it, and then again, this is one thing that I feel strongly. We took Fury lightly. We took him lightly when he said, "I'm coming." And I'm bringing it to the monster. I'm bringing it to him. Maybe Wilder wasn't ready. And it showed. It showed that he didn't have a game plan. It showed that he wasn't ready to fight as a smaller man. It showed. So there was somewhat of a slack on that camp that said, you know what? You were sitting too high and mighty. And it's okay because every now and then, we are humbled. We are humbled, man, but the champ is definitely measured by the way he comes back, especially from, falling from such a high place. You got to come back with everything you got. Because this man talks real highly as if he already got the Da Vinci Code. You're nothing now in his mind. And if you allow him to get in your mind, he's going to win. Now, look, I'm going to be honest, right? I'm not saying that Fury's going to, get knocked out this third fight. He's going to lose, but it's not going to be the same for him. All right? Wilder's team now knows as well that he's willing to come forward, They're going to be ready for something like that. They weren't ready for it before because they slacked off. A lot of us, come on, who thought that Fury was really going to come at Wilder and try to knock him out? A lot of us thought that he was trolling. Again, we fell for the mind games. We keep falling for the mind games. You can't fall for the mind games this time around. You got to bring it to this guy full throttle. You got to have the game plans that you need in order to be ready in the ring when the time comes to implement different strategies. Being the smaller guy, fighting on the inside, making it dirty for him. Guy wants to lean on you, uppercut the shit on him. Uppercut the shit out of him. As soon as you feel that weight on top of you, you uppercut. A lot of things I didn't see on the inside. You know what I'm saying? If he starts running, you got to know how to put pressure, not just measuring. You got to use angles, different varieties of the jab. It's just that he's going to literally have to be his best. He's going to literally have to be at his best and be able to have these different tools in his tool belt because he's going to need them. He's facing a guy that truly believes that he's the best, just like he does. And again, we can cloud. There's this Glovegate thing going around, and so many other things that might cloud.
Hey, hate to interrupt. We have our first guest, Adrian Clark, on the line. Former longtime boxing manager, and now playing a role for Fight Network in Canada. Adrian, good morning. First and foremost, thank you for taking out the time to come on the program, talk a little bit of boxing with us, and really updating us on what it is that you got going on with Fight Network.
Hey, yo, Ness, man, I don't know if you can hear, but I can hear something else in my ear. It's like connected to two channels.
What about now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Did you?
I missed everything that you said. I missed everything that you said because there was someone else talking in my ear.
No problem. Apologies. I was saying, first and foremost, thank you for coming on the program, taking out the time to talk some boxing. And, we wanted to obviously find out what it is that you have going on with Fight Network. I know you're a longtime boxing manager, now no longer managing, and transitioned into Fight Network in Canada. So we really wanted to get an update on what it is that you're going to be providing for them in terms of boxing content, and how would that affect or help benefit Americans?
I got you. No, first of all, thank you guys for having me on, man. I've actually been listening to you guys for a minute now, so it's good to actually be on with you guys. And, it's been a long negotiation for one, because I was kind of volley on should I kind of vacate what I've been doing with management, and there was a lot that I did not know about the Fight Network. So it was like a 4 or 5 month negotiation of kind of just going back and forth and making sure both sides were happy. But what my title is with Fight Network is I'm the business and content advisor. So I mainly work with the owner, Lynn Asper, and the GM, Ariel, which I can't pronounce his last name yet, but my bad if you're listening, Ariel. I'll learn that at a later date. But I'm working with those gentlemen to bring more of a boxing presence to the Fight Network. It's really heavy MMA and, of course, Impact Wrestling, which is really popular within Canada and a little bit in the States. But they don't have a boxing presence. So when I sat down with Lynn in Dallas, he kind of gave me his big picture vision, and he included something that's really passionate for me, which is protect yourself at all times, which I created in 2016. And if you guys don't know, protect yourself at all times is just an initiative that I started to help educate and inform fighters on the nature of the business of boxing. It's such, as much as we know about the sport inside the ring, there's very little we know that goes on outside the ring in regards to the business. And we hear different stories about fighters being taken advantage of or getting the short end of the stick, or when their career is over with, they have nothing. As a former fighter myself, I fought in the amateurs in college. I know what it's like to get in the ring, man, and get beat up or get stopped. And then it's like you walk into the locker room and, you get there and it's like, what just happened? And that was for free. That was me just doing it out of leisure and for fun. Most of these guys make a living out of this. So it tugged at my heartstrings in 2016. I got to do something. I can't just be a guy that's working for the fighters or having them think that they work for me and me make a profit off of them. And then once they're done, move on to the next person. I felt like I needed to do something. So protect yourself at all times is really just to educate and inform the fighters. And then when Lynn brought that up and told me that he wanted me to do a TV show and to produce TV shows to help educate the fighters and really protect yourself advising those guys on how to implement more of a boxing presence to their channel, but then also I'm really going to go hard at protect yourself at all times, because now I can help all fighters rather than just help a few.
All right, well, let me pass you over to someone who I know is super excited because he does a lot of research, and I believe he's from your hometown. If not, you went to school in Corpus Christi. Come on,
I
did some research. I did some research too. So he went to college.
Shout out Islanders.
But go ahead. Let me introduce you, Mario Munguia from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Damn.
Oh, you got to introduce. I know, my man. What's good with you, fellas?
Looks like Ness froze.
Yeah, he froze good.
And I'm going to take a picture of that because it's extremely funny.
Yeah.
Wow, because me and Adrian hear you guys. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Adrian, you hear me?
Let me not look so funny.
I can hear those guys also.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Must be a glitch in the internet. They're saying, let me just text them, let them know that you hear us.
You went to the same college as Adrian?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I actually read his book, so I had quite a few questions.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I was having problems getting on, so I was like,
we can't say anything. They can't hear us.
20 minutes.
I'm texting. Well, let me see if I can get them back on. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Mario is from Corpus, and obviously you went to Corpus as well. Do you guys hear me now? You guys connected?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we're good.
We heard you. I don't know. That's so strange. We heard like everything. He's just laughing like, yo, I hear you. He even said he remembers you. He knows you. So hopefully you hear him now.
Yeah, I'm on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you perfect now.
Mario, what's good, man?
I'm good, man. I'm very, very good. I'm wondering what's been going on with you, and you know, reading the book and knowing you for as long as I know you. I know that your intentions in boxing have always been super noble, and I'm wondering, at this position that you're taking with Fight Network, are you going to be able to still be a crusader for boxing, and in what way?
Yeah, I think now even more so that when I was managing, I think the last time you and I spoke was when De La Rosa was supposed to fight David Lemieux in Canada.
Yes.
I think I remember that conversation vividly, man, and it was before we went, because once we went over there, that's when they really tried to, pull an okie doke, and it was pretty much a good picture of everything that I fight for in the sport of boxing in regards to the fighters. But to answer your question, man, it actually is going to put more of a focus on protect yourself at all times, and put more of a focus on educating and informing the fighters of what they need to know to better protect themselves. So instead of me just informing the guys that I directly manage, which may be 5 to 10 guys, now I'm talking to a plethora of fighters all over the world about protect yourself at all times and what to look out for with signing contracts, paying taxes, understanding their money, signing with promoters. I'm able to talk about all of that to everyone rather than just talk about it to a select few. So it really it heightens the platform.
So
what happened there?
No, I was gonna ask. I wanted to know how'd you make that connection with Fight Network, and why did you stop managing fighters, because you manage quite a few fighters. I mean, people will be impressed to know. And let me tell you, you look extremely young. When I looked you up, I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting a guy that managed, the likes of Willie Monroe, Jerry Bamontes. They say if you worked with Earl and so many other big names. Why give up boxing managing?
I wouldn't say. I mean, it was time. Honestly, it was time for boxing management, man. I did everything that I wanted to do in that 9 years. I wrote my memoirs as a boxing manager. My new book titled Dark Horse. I'm actually gonna send it to each of you guys, man. If y'all don't have it, I'm gonna mail it out to you guys today. Where you'll read in that book, man. I compacted 9 years of stories, just behind the scenes stories, into this book. And after you finish it, you will see like, yo, he did. And I did everything in my 20s, man, from 23 when I first started all the way up to 29, I did everything that I wanted to do in regards to boxing management. So to answer the second question, man, getting linked up with Len Asper was honestly a mutual friend of ours, which is weird to say, with him being, big time TV exec. And I think Len he don't like people to say this, but I'm going to put him on blast. I think he's a billionaire if I'm not mistaken, but a mutual friend of ours, he linked us in Dallas. Len wanted to get more in the boxing world, but didn't want to deal with the older guys in the sport because he had been there and done that with those guys before. So he wanted someone that was younger. And our mutual friend linked us up. We had lunch one day. Actually, a funny story. I was going to walk away from the lunch, man. I have a son now, and it was my day to hang out with my son. So I took the meeting kind of just off GP for my guy. But I had really no idea who I was meeting with or what they want to talk about. And again, it's my day with my son, so everything stops for that. So I decided to go to the meeting, and man, these dudes were like 20 minutes late. So I was like, man, forget this. I went to valet. I'm waiting on my truck to come around, and my truck took forever. So I'm standing there at valet, and I'm hot, you know what I'm saying, because I'm losing time with my son. So my guy finally shows up, and the whole time I'm standing outside, there was a gentleman standing beside me that was on his phone also handling business. But I didn't know who he was. But when my guy called me, he was like, yo, man, sorry we're late. Lynn is outside right now taking a phone call. Like, where are you? So I happened to look to the side, and I guess somebody said, this is the guy that I'm meeting with, so to speak. So we all go back inside and sit down and talk. And honestly, man, I'm glad that my truck didn't show up when it did, because meeting with him and just seeing how genuine he was and the passion that he had for boxing and what he wanted to do in the sport, kind of make it like a central location and bring everybody to one spot. I was like, yo, I'm game for this. So even though negotiations took a minute, meeting with him and the other times that we did meet, he was a really thorough dude, man. So I'm happy to be with him, but for boxing management, it was time. It was time. I did a great job managing those guys, and over 9 years, I did a lot and knocked down so many doors, man. And now it's just time to go on to something that's bigger for me to help out more fighters than just the few that I have a strong relationship with. I don't know what that was.
Nah, man. That sounds definitely interesting, man. I'm really excited. I used to follow Fight Network when Corey Elderman had a show on there, but I quickly realized all they do is cover MMA. So I'm glad that you're going to be bringing some sort of boxing content. But how do you bridge the gap? How do Americans get to see it?
So you can go subscribe, and that's what we're working on right now. And I'm not glad that this down period is going on, because it's a really crucial time all over the world. But this time where nothing is really going on and everyone is pretty much either on their phones or in front of their televisions, it gives us a chance to let people know that, okay, there will be boxing on the Fight Network, and it's not just going to be me just only talking about protect yourself at all times. What I'm looking to do is to bring everyone, again, to a central location to where when you think of Fight Network, you don't just say, oh, well, if they only cover MMA, which is what you just said. I want people to look at the Fight Network or think Fight Network and be able to identify with boxing. So the next couple of months or weeks, you'll be seeing a lot of, whether it be me going live with Big Baby Miller or Errol Spence or whatever fighter that we'll have on the show. But we'll be talking more boxing. We'll be implementing things that are more boxing based. MMA will still be a part of the Fight Network. I mean, they built a good name just based off of what they produce with MMA, but we're looking to curve more to bring more of a boxing base to the Fight Network.
It's Alex again here with TBV, Adrian. Just wanted to jump up real quick. I'm very happy that you were motivated to write these books. Plenty of times throughout boxing history, fighters have been taken advantage of, and for lack, it says my people are lost for lack of knowledge. When you're coming up and you're just trying to put yourself in a situation where where you're trying to make it out of whatever situation you're out of, and you're fighting for something. You don't have usually that guidance. You know, not every fighter has that team that's going to look out for your best interests. Let me ask, what was your motivation or maybe your inspiration? Maybe something you saw in the past in the sport, or maybe present or during the time when you were managing, when you wrote these books. What was your inspiration for this?
Honestly, man, I dedicate everything I do in boxing to my brother, my late brother. He died in 2006 of cancer at 24 years old, and we fought all the time. Sorry to hear that, brother. It's cool, man. I appreciate it. But we fought all the time, man. My brother loved boxing. He loved fighting, and he loved fighting me because I'm the little brother. So I took most of the butt whoopings, but it didn't come for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I once in 2006, once my brother passed, man, that's when I ended up going to Corpus, and I just told myself in 2006, like, yo, and like get into boxing, like just fight in your brother's honor. That's why I got into amateur boxing. I fought in my brother's honor. And I'm like, yo, whatever comes from everything, man, it'll be that. So I never thought that it would get this far, but everything I do is for my brother, man. So once I got into management, and I'm 23 years old, I'm fresh out of college. I was helping out at that time managing Jerry Belmontez, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know who to contact. I was going, of course, on the internet trying to look up, you know, how to be a boxing manager, and there was nothing. There was no blueprint. There was nothing to follow. So I literally had to learn on the fly. And the one thing that really set it off for me, I got in contact with Cameron Duncan, who, to me, you know, even though I haven't spoken to dude and I don't know how long, to me, he's going to be a manager that's remembered in the sport. But when I met with him and the stuff he was talking about and how he was talking about the fighters, you know, it was a turnoff for me, and I'm like, yo, I don't dig this. I don't like his mindset. He's helped out so many great fighters, but his mindset towards the fighters, respectfully, was piss poor. So that's what really set it off for me. Like, yo, I'm not gonna go about things that way. You know what I'm saying? He's an old school manager. That's the way they did things back in that time. But for
sort
me,
of like peddling in the flesh, sort of speak, huh?
Exactly, fam. So I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna write my own story, and I'm gonna do things the way I want to do it. And that's what I did. So I'm pretty sure a lot of older managers don't agree with how I manage fighters or how I managed fighters when I was in the game, but that way made sense to me, and it's all about the protection for the fighters. Like only one fighter was under contract with me. So all the guys I worked with, Willie Monroe, James De La Rosa, Jerry Belmontez, Frank Galarza, and none of those guys signed contracts with me. We had a handshake agreement that I was going to put in work for them, and the work I put in for them and opportunities that I created based off my relationships, they would pay me an agreed upon percentage. And sometimes it wasn't a clean 10%. It's like, yo, what all bills you need to take care of, and then after that, how much you got left over, then cool, now let's agree on this number. And it was that. It wasn't a piece of paper saying, like, for 3 to 5 years, you can't fire me and you got to pay me 30%. No, that's old school, man. I'm not saying it don't completely work. It still works for some people, but I'm looking to wake fighters up to come to the negotiation table strong and be knowledgeable on what works and what's not going to work. So it's just different. It was different for me as a manager, and I hope the moves I make and the things I tell fighters is different going forward for the fighters also.
I was going to say, I got a few questions from the people.
Yeah, go ahead. I know there's probably a ton. I just wanted to say, Adrian, you know, you broke down a lot of stuff in the book and throughout our conversations. And so if you could just take like 30 seconds, because it's not just the money that you talk about. It's a lot of stuff. It's the entourage. It's everything surrounding, you know, a fighter's career. If you could take like 30 seconds to a minute to just give, like, and I hate doing this to you because I feel like I'm trivializing it a little bit, but if you could just give like 30 seconds, like a minute, best advice you could give like a young fighter, because we have young fighters on all the time, guys that are amateurs going to turn pros, guys that have barely turned pro, you know, just, I guess, like a blanketed advice.
Honestly, man, like it would be fluff if you asked me that a couple of years ago, but now it's like you have to focus on the knowledge. Just as you perfect your craft, same energy, the same effort that you give to obtaining knowledge to be a better fighter inside the ring, you have to put in that same work outside the ring of becoming knowledgeable of, because I mean, most guys want to sign with a promoter, but it sounds good to say that, but are you signing with the right promoter? Based off of what you want for your career, are you signing with the right promoter? As far as the contract goes, you won't understand everything within the contract, so who do you have looking over your contract? In regard to your money, everybody wants to make Floyd money, but they don't want to go through what Floyd went through, and then they don't understand that a lot of that money that Floyd makes, more than 30 to 40% of it, belongs to the IRS. Do you understand that in regards to your taxes? Do you understand that, okay, the way things are set up in boxing, you are the business, so you have to pay everybody that's putting in work for you. You have to pay your trainer a percentage. You have to pay your manager a percentage. You have to pay your strength and conditioning, however much money. Understand things as a businessman just as much as you're understanding things to become a better fighter in the ring. Become a better businessman outside the ring. That's the best advice I can give to the fighter. Get the knowledge the same way you're getting better in the ring and the knowledge you're getting from the trainer. Get the knowledge to protect yourself at all times with my videos, everything that I'm doing, man. Become better outside the ring just as you're becoming better inside the ring.
You gonna go ahead, Ness, or did I have a chance just for? I just wanted to ask real quick, Adrian. You mentioned the old school style of managing and kind of looking at things, and with this day and age with social media, the internet, and everything else along that we could just at a click of a button find information. How much more knowledgeable are fighters now than they were, let's say, 20 years ago? Maybe, and even further, and we could go even further than that. But let's just go back 20 years ago. How much more informative information is out there for these fighters?
And it's 1,000 times more knowledge on what I was at a dinner. I was at an event with Evander Holyfield, his son, Kathy Duba, and Jolie Mazzone here in Dallas. And just looking at Evander and just thinking about all the things that he went through as a fighter, the business decisions he made, and now he's trying to make sure that his son, Evan, goes in a better direction. And I've had conversations with Evan also about being a better businessman. It's night and day how different it is, but the mistake that continues to happen is the fighters only focus on fighting. They're programmed to think that, okay, well, I just got to go get it inside the ring. Everything else outside the ring is going to take care of itself, and that's not accurate. Like we're training these guys only to be fighters, when in actuality, man, these guys are business owners. They're independent contractors, which is in their contract, whether it be managerial or promotional. They're independent contractors. So why are they only learning to be one thing, one way? They have to learn the outside, which is, the entrepreneurship side, the business owner side of it, because that's exactly what they are. So if you look on the internet, man, there's more knowledge in regards to how to protect yourself within the sport of boxing based off of the things that I put forth to protect yourself at all times. I'm not saying that I'm the only source of knowledge out there, but based off my research, there's only probably one or two people that's actually putting out knowledge that can help a fighter move forward. So there's more out there. It's just the point of the guys having to have the mindset to actually go seek out the knowledge rather than think that everything is just going to fall into place for them, because that's not factual.
I can't wait to read the book, Adrian. Really, really, because one thing that we discussed on the show always is, knowing how to nurture a fighter, and how to make this fighter attain greatness. You got to know how to nurture a fighter. And I never even thought to look up for like a book that would have, advice. So, thank you again for putting this book out, and for all the fighters that are listening to the show right now, go pick up this read. I know I will. If you're not going to send one out, I'll pick it up at Barnes and Nobles. If it's at Barnes and Nobles, I would like to read it, man. And thank you again for creating this, because, if you've kind of compiled, this information into one book, as much as you've been able to collect, I know that it'll serve many would-be fighters and champions in the future. Thank you, Adrian. That's where I'm out. Ness?
Yeah, I got the first question from the people coming from George Foster, who says, and he's in the UK, he says, if you could make any 3 fights happen in boxing after coronavirus passes, what would they be?
Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, Joshua Fury, and the last one would be. I'm a Dallas guy, but I know Regis Prograis very well. I want to see Prograis and Maurice Hooker. They used to go at it in the amateurs back in the day. So a professional fight between Maurice Hooker and Regis Prograis is one that I would really want to see. So those are 3 fights that I would want to see made once the coronavirus passes.
All right, and we got another one coming from Delaware. Jemmy says, do you think people will be hesitant to go out and spend their money once the pandemic is over?
No. If I know you guys are like boxing buffs. Like you guys know the history of it. I think boxing was like one of the only sports, one of the major sports to like really survive through what was it the crash? What was it? 1920, 29 or 26 when the stock market had crashed and everyone was out of a job. Boxing was still big. People were still looking forward to fights. So no, people are still gonna spend their money. I think there'll be a little bit of hesitation in the beginning, but people when they can identify with something, they buy, man. And people have a love for boxing. They have a love for a lot of other things that cost money. So they're gonna buy. This will slow down things now, but once things are clear, people are gonna go back to buying again.
All right, we got Scott, the Christian fight fan, says, do you think the biggest fights should happen right away once the pandemic situation is over?
Oh no, you have to. The boxing is a business, man. It's not a it's a sport, but it's a business first. Then it's a sport after that. You have to stretch things out, and I hate using the word marinate, but some fights you can't give everything right now because 2021 is coming, and 2022 will be after that. So you have to stretch things out. Fighters like go through injuries and promoting fights. All that stuff takes time, man. So no, I don't think they should just try to throw everything at everyone immediately. Stretch things out and let's restore the feeling of how it was 2 months ago.
I think people are saying that because Sean Porter did an interview recently, and he's like, look, if we want to contend with NFL and with the NBA when we get out of this pandemic, we need to make the best versus the best. That was his, I guess, angle. But we got the next one coming from Carlito in the UK as well. Says, it's great to see a black man take up such an important role. Do you think you can use your connections with Earl and Big Baby to bring some highly rated prospects to Fight Network? And will this be available in the UK? If not, make it happen, G. Did we lose you, Adrian? Hello? You guys there? Alex? All right, say something. I'm going to get this man back on the line. Apologies. Do me? You're on mute.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, but you're not. Now I can hear you, So Enrique, what up? Legendary Baby stepping in, man, helping the man out.
What up, man? Sorry,
Do
I'm
me
late,
still quiet. I'm asking him to talk. He's still just reading instead of listening to me. Dude's like out of control.
He aiming for perfection. That's
how radio silence is never perfection.
Enrique got the cocky in his eye still. What's going on, champ?
Yo, dogs, you know how it is out nowadays. Your checklist is short, but it's exhausting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate this book though. This book that he's written. I can't wait to read it.
What's the title?
It's Dark Horse. I mean, even the name, like automatically I thought about the pale white horse. Now my man got the dark horse. You know what I'm saying? Got his image with the beard on it. It's a good look, man, and I hope to pick it up. Looks like
It's
a good
out?
read. Yeah, it's out. It's out. And I'm pretty sure that it puts the light on a lot of things that, would be
I
new
think I
boxers.
reconnected him. Give me a minute. Adrian,
Yeah,
you there?
I'm back. I'm back on.
Apologies, man. We at the mercy of the internet here.
It's all
But
good.
Carlito was saying that it's great to see a black. He's from the UK as well. He says it's great to see a black man take up such an important role. Do you think you can use your connections with Earl Spence Jr. and Big Baby Miller to bring some highly rated prospects to Fight Network? And will this be available in the UK? If not, make it happen.
Wow, he's an advanced guy. To answer that question without fully answering that question, definitely gonna use my relationships. I can't give names or anything of that nature right now, but you're very advanced. You're a very smart guy to kind of put those things together. But we have some big things going. It's not just with the fighters, man. I want to stress that it's not just with the fighters, man. I watch a lot of people, whether it be on the promotional side of things and also on the media side of things, really bust it up and make big noise in the sport of boxing. So there's a lot of big things that we're going to do with the Fight Network in regards just to boxing alone. So just stay tuned. It will be available in the UK. These guys the production team with the Fight Network is working crazy hard, man, to just bring things to the forefront and make it easy for people to subscribe and follow along, man. So just keep up with us, and we'll deliver by summer. Hopefully, we'll deliver everything that you need.
Last one before you go. Intrigue in Atlanta says, if Keith Thurman versus Terrence Bud Crawford happens, who would you favor to win and why?
Terrence Crawford. Just how versatile he is. Not taking away things from Keith. Keith is still a strong fighter. I mean, he showed with the Manny Pacquiao fight, just getting back up from a knockdown to really finish the fight strong. I think that fight was closer than what the judges had it, but Terrence is just way too versatile, man. He can stand there with you in the pocket. He can box you from the outside. I think he just has too many weapons for Keith. I think he'll beat Keith by unanimous decision. I don't think he'll stop him. Keith will put up a good fight, but I don't think he's versatile enough to beat Terrence Crawford.
All right. Well, Adrian, man, that's our last question. I want to thank you, obviously, for your time. We want to get you back on as soon as you start putting some programming on Fight Network and just keep spreading the word, letting the boxing fans know. Just another spot location where they can get some boxing content. Once again, thanks for the time, and can't wait to get you back on. If you have any social media, please give it out at this time.
You can follow me, of course, Fight Network, which is at FightNet on all the social media channels. I'll be putting a lot of work there. Now I'm actually in front of the camera because I will have a TV show, 7-part series, which will be titled Protect Yourself at All Times, which will air on the Fight Network. But on Instagram, I'm AC_Clark. And on Twitter, I'm at @TheAdrianClark. And then, of course, on Facebook, just Adrian Clark. But you guys can hit me up if you got any further questions, man. I'll be more than happy to answer through my inbox. But Ness, Mario, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. Once I hang up, man, inbox me an address where I can mail these books to, so you guys can check them out and let me know what you think.
Sorry to interrupt, Enrique Church. I came on late in the show, and you probably addressed this already. I'm trying to find the book, and I can't find it online. So what's the real title? Is it The Dark Horse? Is it Dark Horse?
Oh, it's Dark Horse. It's on Amazon. So this, for my fourth book, I exclusively put it only on Amazon. But it's the paperback. It's the paperback copy. I have the hardcover at the crib, so I'll be sending you guys hardcover. So Enrique, if you inbox me your address, man, you ain't got to buy it. I'll send it directly to you wherever you at.
Definitely something to do. I'll definitely inbox you as soon as this show is done. Promise.
For sure. Adrian, man, thank you once again. And listen, I want to get you back. The internet was spotty, man. I got so many questions on a personal level. Like I said, I brought up your age and how young you've been doing this. So, I mean, hopefully your book answers some of those questions. So we'll probably get you back anyway. But, I really like that you started off as a boxing manager. I have all types of questions, believe me, but I'm pressed for time with my next guest. I will be getting you back on. Keep fighting a good fight, brother. Thank you again.
And we will be
man. I'll talk to you guys soon, bro. Peace.
All right.
Guys. That'll be a high Untitled review. Do me.
Word.
right?
All right, let me go ahead and connect Nicholas Asbury on. You wanted to be getting emails, Enrique. You got your email. I hope you've been doing your research. This one should be interesting for you.
I didn't get the emails.
You gotta check you gotta check your inbox. Your inbox.
You know what I'm getting?
Let me go ahead and
chime.
That's exactly it. Let me go ahead and introduce our next guest, Nicholas Asbury. Nicholas, how are you?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm doing good. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Look, Nicholas, I'm gonna be honest. I'm very appreciative that you took out your time to come on. But I'm gonna say when I first heard of you, before meeting and becoming friendly with your manager Martin, I seen your posts about the gloves. It was obviously throughout social media and YouTube and all that. And the first thing I said is, why would Tyson Fury leave those gloves there for you to find them?
I necessarily don't know, but I knew the day after we sparred that one day he said, I'm going to put our gloves together over here, over in this room over here. And I was like, okay. And I remember him saying that before. And I just remember, like, stuff wasn't right after the second time we sparred. Just shit didn't feel right, And, like, I've sparred him. I sparred him a lot. I was over in England for 3 months, sparring him, like, 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? For, like, the Klitschko fight. So I experienced, like, him at peak moments during training camp and him at low moments during training camp. And that was actually a prime him because all he's doing now is putting wear and tear in his body because he's past his physical prime. So, like, so I experienced that feeling his knuckle behind the glove, and I just went by our stuff where he said it was at, and then I checked the stuff, and then I saw like how padding was falling out the glove. I felt inside the glove there was like a slit in there. Then we found an egg weight in another glove around there, and find out Isaac Lowe would spar people with 10-ounce gloves, and sparring like amateur fighters with 10-ounce gloves. And then I just felt like shit wasn't right. And then besides that, they also didn't give me any food. Didn't give me. It wasn't a proper camp. It was like an unprofessional. It was there was no criteria. I mean, there's no like schedule when I came down. They were canceling sparring, starting sparring up just based on what's going on. It was just really weird and sketchy.
You need to be concerned because.
Hey, Nicholas, Enrique Church here. Sorry, I don't know what that soundbite.
No, that was his video. I just pulled it up to have it. Obviously because it's part of the interview. But before I introduce you to my co-host Enrique Church, I did want to ask because I want to set the tempo here. Does it bother you that you're like this is what people are first drawn? Like this is how we find out about Nicholas Asbury. Does it bother you, or do you feel like it's cool because you're bringing awareness to some dodgy stuff in your opinion?
No, because I mean, I put in work. I mean, regardless, I am who I am at the end of the day. I'm not gonna switch up on who what type of person I am at the end of the day. And I experienced ups and downs in life, and I always kept the same attitude throughout my whole entire life. Throughout anything I do. So me just saying this to the public and stuff like that about what Tyson Fury is doing with his gloves, I wasn't trying to bring awareness. It was like I was promised something, and I'm seeing you. It's like when somebody owes you money, and then you see them in the club popping bottles. It's like, isn't that you popping bottles with my money? And then it's also like you being done dirty to the point where you see people like Patrick Day passing away, and you see how they treat black fighters in boxing, and you see this constantly. But you want to see these people donate to these charities, donate to all these it's a smoke and mirror scheme. That it's like they're using the trying to use people's emotions against them, trying to use empathetic emotions against other people, and it's disgusting. And I think like he's a fake, he's a fraud, and he ain't shit. Personally, that's what I felt like. And I felt like I could say whatever I want as a person. If I don't say whatever I want, what the fuck I look like not saying anything? Just having Tyson Fury keep on sparring and doing the things he's doing with these same type of gloves and doing the same type of style to people, he could fucking kill somebody. And besides that, I didn't even ask before. Besides that, I was homeless, which is documented, legal documents. We're showing you guys that all I wanted was my money. I didn't even ask for anything more for this guy taking out penning and sparring me. I didn't ask for anything more. I just asked for the money that was owed to me. Fuck that. I don't even want the money no more. Y'all saying I want money? Okay, if y'all say I want money, fuck that. I wouldn't want the money. People are saying I'm getting write-outs from some organization, some boxing organization. I never got write-outs from any boxing organization. The only thing I did was sign shitty-ass deals with some shiesty people. That's the only thing I did in boxing. That's it. That's how I feel about it.
Yo, Nick, It's Enrique again. I wanted to know, you were vocal about it, obviously even much emotional about it. Has anyone from that camp reached out to you like, man, what are you talking about? Like, do they have their defense to you directly, or are they just quiet?
Yeah, I mean, people from their camp, they got busted because another coach, Barry, was there, and Lawrence Okolie was there, and he's in my video speaking too. You hear him in the background talking about some blah, 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 like, oh, this is like, oh, yeah, because Lawrence Okolie supposedly signed Anthony Joshua, so he got on the phone and said he called Anthony Joshua, so I'm not too sure if that's a lie or whatever, but if Anthony Joshua does know about it, he's probably cheating too. Fuck his ass. And then, there's Tyson Fury with this whole glove situation. This was like, this is just like, wait, what was the question again? I forgot.
I was asking, like, does the camp of Tyson Fury reach out to you talking about
yeah.
questioning your, you finding those things, defending themselves, or angry at you, or whatever? How are they directing their energy towards you? Obviously, you're emotional about it and you're vocal.
Yeah. So they're directing their energy, like threatening me and shit. Ben Davison, because they tried to take my life. I was like, you guys could have seriously injured me and like took my life away, like, or something like that. And like, not even saying like Tyson Fury punches like his soft ass hand. He doesn't punch hard at all. He has no punching power. And I was like, besides that, I was like, you guys could have done damage to me. Like, I borrow money from some people I'm from Chicago. Like, I don't know how they get down in the UK, but we do some shit a little differently out here. And like, I had to borrow that money as a front, and then I had to pay like some shit went south. And then with that, but then like I'm telling this dude like you guys owe me money, you owe me shit. And then Adam Harris, Tyson Fury's long manager or long advisor or whatever, from Hennessy Sports, when Tyson Fury was signed to Hennessy Sports, he said, he's like, what are you talking about, Nick? Blah, 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 you're talking shit, blah, 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 you should never done, like talking shit, like talking down to me, because boxing is a pimps and a hoes business. The boxers are basically like the hoes, and everybody else is basically like the pimps telling the boxers what to do, and using fake-ass falsified dreams and buying them gloves every once a week and doing little shit for them just to show boxers, hey, some validation so they feel good about themselves, so they keep on fucking them behind the scenes. But besides that, yeah, he tried to, they said, oh, yeah, so I got Adam Harris texting me saying, oh, so what, the gloves are dodgy. Why don't we just sweep this under the rug and forget about it? Stop saying all this shit. I got that in text. And then he said, and then he tried to give me a fight, and then I was like, no, I'll forget about it. I was like, no, I won't forget about it. But I was like, after the fight, like, after Tyson's done with this fight, then can we handle and get me squared up? He's like, oh, yeah, righteous. And then he hits me up. He's like, oh, I got a fight versus some kickboxer in Canada. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not even a kickboxer. What the fuck, like, in Canada, like, what the fuck is going, like, no, dude, like, you do this shit, and then say you're gonna take care of me, square me up. I don't even say nothing to nobody, don't release anything to the public, and then you're gonna say to me that you got a kickboxer for me? Like, get the fuck out of here. And then Ben Davison sitting here got fired by me. I comment on this picture. He only replied to me on this picture and said fuck you, you're not gonna do shit. And then I got voice messages of him threatening me, saying if you want to go to war, we can go to war and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, my biggest thing is these people said they were gonna sue me. Frank Warren went on record, said he's going to sue me. Tyson Fury said, and MGK Global said they were going to go on record to sue me. All these big organizations said they're going to sue me, but I haven't seen no shit yet. I haven't seen no paperwork yet. And I haven't seen nothing compared to anything that I've been presenting. Everybody's just sweeping shit under the rug. No, these are actual visual facts in front of you. I have no reason to fucking lie. And I'm telling you, I'm telling anybody, if the people think I want money, I don't even want money no more. If people think I'm doing this for credibility, I don't even want fucking credibility. I'll take a $0 payday just to fuck Tyson Fury's ass up. How about that? Like how literal do I have to get for you? You know what I'm saying? I'm a street dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm a street dude. I taught myself how to get out of the street. You know, I handle myself. I handle myself in the streets, and I do what I got to do. I feel passionate about these things because I put my life on the line for these things. You know what I'm saying? I sacrifice my time and days, blood, sweat, and everything in the gym for these things. I watched Mike Tyson's videos when I got suspended, and that motivated me to start boxing. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, thinking everybody's doing it the right way, and then get up on the top in the top 10, everybody in the top 10 fucking cheating and shit. But they claim to be the biggest, baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Get the fuck out of here. Bunch of soft motherfuckers.
Nick, this is Alex Doomsday here with the Boxing Voice, man. First and foremost, I'm glad that we have you, healthy. And Ness, is everything okay? I'm okay.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, Nick, just I'm just speaking to the fact that I'm glad that you're well, you're doing well, And all of this is resonating with the interview that we had before with Adrian Clark, where there's a lot of things that are not, told to the fighters, and not everybody's always looking out for your best interests. I think what you're looking for now is more justice than anything else. That's what I'm getting from you. It's a disgusting thing to do. We're in a serious sport where, lives can be lost. You get hit the wrong way. If a knuckle's protruding through the padding and you get hit in the temple, it could definitely be very bad. So, I'm sorry that this happened to you. And I see that you're very passionate about everything you're saying. So, I'm not the one to say.
Let me just say for the record, Tyson Fury said when you hit somebody in the temple, he said this during the camp. He said if you hit somebody in the temple, there's no return coming back from that. And then he tried to hit me on top of the temple, but there was some coming back from that.
While fighting Nick, did you feel anything suspicious? Like, damn, he hits hard.
Yeah,
you just said he don't hit hard, but then now, I mean, you suspected something. So did you feel anything different?
Yeah, definitely. When I sparred plenty of people, the hardest puncher probably per se that I got hit with was Andre Fedorov. He won the boxing tournament. I don't know if you know who that is. This Russian guy, Andre Fedorov. He worked with Freddie Roach.
Absolutely. He was in the Boxino tournament.
Yeah, he probably was the hardest left hooker I ever got. Like, because I caught his left hook and that shit went through my glove, down my spine, down into my left leg, and I caught it on the right side of my body. And I was like, whoa, but you take people's weapons away and they become useless. All he has is those punches. You take them away, he can't do shit. But anyways, but Tyson Fury were sparring. The first day was easy because he didn't know, because it's been a while, and he's like they seem to be preserving him from the last camp, because I've been studying him. He hasn't been studying me, but I've been in his camps. And everything, seeing him process, seeing him with his family, seeing him with everybody, and I've been seeing him through his ups, through his highs, through his lows, and he always comes in overweight before fights. You know what I'm saying? Always. So I don't know why he's trying to sell that as a mental health story or some type of story to America. I bounced back. Motherfucker, you bounced back. How much fights does he have? 20. I don't even know how much fight. Every single time he had to bounce back. Come on now. That just shows bad habits. And these habits have been stalled since he started fighting. If people just study his history of, the way these people fight and the way these people go about these things, they'll be able to tell. And these type of bare knuckle techniques and these type of gyms that they're training at, these people that they're working at, you got to know the, different boxing, different cultures, different religion. You got to know all these things because people cheat in different ways. And Tyson Fury, when he hit me, the first day that we sparred, I didn't have nobody coaching my corner. My coach Montel gave me 3 instructions. I went in there, I fucked Tyson up the first day, because they were expecting, because Wilder throws overhand punching, swimming punches, because he swims a lot for cardio here and shit like that. Tyson Fury just goes underneath him and he changes left, and the punches were sailing over the top of him all day. If you watch the first fight, that's what the fuck basically happened. The second fight he stood up, but the first fight that was the game plan. And I just threw 3 chopping punches, hit him with the third one. It was a hook. And then he grabbed the ropes, was about to fall over. Then he tried to spring back up and escape out a right. And I caught him with it was an overextended right hand. It was an overextended right hooking hand, because I was trying to keep him into the ropes and into the corner. And then the first day it was easy. And then they said we weren't sparring the next day. They told us, matter of fact, we weren't sparring the next day, which happened before in Tyson Fury's camp versus Klitschko, when we fucked him up and he couldn't spar the next day and he was putting makeup on his eye. It's the same shit. And then the second day they were like, oh yeah, we're not sparring or whatever. So we're like, okay, cool. So then they text Lawrence Okolie, everybody inside the house. They text them and say, hey, yo, get Nick ready to spar. And I'm like, get Nick ready? They didn't text my phone. I'm sitting there texting them for food. I haven't got no food or anything since I got there. I didn't have shit. I didn't even eat anything since I got there. Got off the plane, went to the location, ate 2 scoops of yogurt from this dude named Brian Phillips, this other fighter that they had there, and went to go spar, and I fucked his ass up. Came back, and then they said we're gonna get Nick ready, blah blah blah. I'm like, get Nick. Why doesn't nobody text me? I haven't got no fucking food. And then so I'm letting them use me. Remember, me being a respectable human being and a respectable boxer and thinking I'm a champion and not looking past the ego, thinking too much into my fighting head that, hey, I deserve to eat a meal before I fucking spar the guy who's getting ready to be an undisputed champion. I just feel like I'm entitled to that. That's just me. That's just me. And then and then as soon as I go to the second time, they pull up, they wait for us to pull up, they pull up, Tyson yells, bangs on the car, whatever. They get out the car, and then they were super oiling up our gloves. All the other sparring guys all had to wear their gloves, and there were all these new 20-ounce big ass pillow gloves that they put so much oil and lube on. Because I noticed that they kept on being so attentive to our gloves. And then, so we get in there, they're like, Freddie Roach is going to be in your corner today. I was like, I don't need nobody in my corner. I don't need instructions. I'm not one of the, and I was like, I don't need Freddie Roach telling me what the fuck to do. And then Freddie Roach is like, go in there and just throw overhands and throw 1-2. You're quicker, you're a faster fighter than him. Just throw overhand rights. I'm like, dude, that's not my game. That's not really smart fighting. That's what Deontay Wilder does sometimes. It's bailouts, you know what I'm saying? But that's not smart fighting. When he told me to go in there and do that and sit there missing, and then Tyson Fury does his move with switch to southpaw and threw a right hook downstairs, I think it was his left glove. He threw it downstairs to my ribs, and I got hit in the body before by some hard ass punches, but the punching force still felt the same. If somebody were to push you in a chair and you were to go a little bit far, it's if somebody pushed you, that's like the pushing force. But if somebody were to stick a finger out or stick something or a point of a tip out and try to poke you with something with that pushing force, that's how it felt. It felt like some pin being pushed into my side, and I was like, damn. Then he hooked me. Yeah, it felt like a stab. That's exactly what it felt. It felt like a stab, but it felt like a roll of cord. You know how I don't even know. It felt like that motherfucker put the egg weight in the tip of his glove and then the egg weight company said that they do that. They said that they have an egg weight that can fit into people's gloves. They said it gets heavier the more heavier it is, the smaller the object is because they make it more dense. And that's what it felt like. It felt like a fucking egg weight was in there, and he pinned it into my side. It didn't feel like Tyson Fury was some concussive ass puncher, you know. It didn't feel like his punchy power could throw me across. It didn't feel like that. It felt like he stabbed me, and then it felt like he stabbed me. He was trying to aim for my temple, but he hit the top of my skull. That was from studying Bernard Hopkins, you know what I'm saying? But he hit the top of my skull, and I felt that. I got out the ring. All Showtime Boxing was all there. They have that fight. They have all this sparring on film. So I was just like, release the sparring. Release the first day and the second day sparring. Fuck it. Just see if people, they haven't even done that to even give people some sense of validation. If you were saying that Tyson Fury is your champion, that you show your little kids every single day, this network channels, these TV channels, ESPN, these network channels, Showtime, MGK Global, and all that stuff, have little support groups for kids. This is your guy's champion, but he's sitting here cheating on the line, and he's sitting here barking from mental health, but he's sitting here cheating on the line, and you know about it, and you guys are trying to cover it up? Are you trying to promote this to kids of the future, but you're trying to say that we need to put a positive image out for everybody? Is that what you're really trying to do? They're really trying to fuck us behind the scenes, but tell us something else? And people eat this shit up every single day. This motherfucker is a cheater, and it's been in his blood. If you cheat once in boxing, you should be out. I don't know why the fuck they keep on giving people chances. It's a man versus man sport, not a man versus some genetically enhanced chemicals. They made those chemicals to keep up with us.
Nick,
to keep up with the superior. Keep up with us.
Let me just jump in here to see if you could get. We want your thoughts on the glove gate, because obviously after that first fight, there's been video. Then people are saying that he cheated with the gloves in the first and the second fight. What do you think about that conspiracy? Did you see the videos floating around online?
Okay, I don't think the question, don't ask the people who are accusing him of this glove question. If you're going to write an essay about an opinion, make sure you write the essay of the other person's side too, just so you have an understanding or more knowledge of anything based that could be to your side of that actual fact that proves you wrong. So with that being said, that means you got to ask yourself the question, has anybody in an undisputed heavyweight fight ever seen a glove flap over and touch a man's wrist? Not motorcycle style, not revving the bike, not down to that's one way, but bending over and touching his forearm. Has anybody ever seen a glove do that? Has anybody ever seen a finger poke out the fucking glove? Tell me, has anybody ever seen that in the history of heavyweight boxing? Show me a fight.
I have not, but they did show a Muhammad Ali picture of a flicking glove. I don't know if that was photo.
They show Muhammad Ali. Let me tell you that. That's bullshit because they show Muhammad Ali's jab. Muhammad Ali threw the same style of jab with a thumbs up. I train with Muhammad Ali's main sparring partner. His name is Maine. Montel Griffin's my trainer. Montel Griffin's dad used to work with Muhammad Ali. I know everything about Muhammad. The author that wrote Muhammad Ali's book, I used to watch his kids in Chicago at a school in Chicago. I'm a paraprofessional at that school. Like, I'm deeply tired of what goes on with Muhammad Ali, like in his styling of everything. And people show that picture of Muhammad Ali throwing a jab, it getting parried. His arm is not even fully extended. Okay, you can show me anything with your wrist, when your wrist coming towards your forearm, towards the inside of your forearm, towards your bicep. If you bend your wrist in towards your bicep, you can see that you can rev. That bikes are made like that to rev engines. Okay, does it bend the other way though? Does it bend the other way? To that extreme though? Does the glove fall down to that extreme? These are brand new fighting gloves, people. Brand new fighting gloves take a while to break. I want you guys to go to Dick's Sporting. Oh no, sorry, it's not open. Sorry. You know, I want you guys to go to Walmart or something and buy some fighting gloves and see if they bend that way when you first wear them.
Nah, they don't.
Tell me, or even after two training sessions, even after, tell me if the glove bends that way. I'm just saying, I've never seen a glove bend that way. They show the Muhammad Ali picture. Muhammad Ali getting a jab parried and showing it fly. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Tyson Fury's already been warned for having a detached thumb on a brand new glove on the same left glove. I'm the same. Right. It's not a coincidence. Oh, let me see. Oh no, like if it has a badge, a gun, a whip, it's a fucking police officer. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are like, no, Tyson Fury's like, no, let me just inject you guys with another something to forget about what happened. Let me just inject you guys with a book. Let me just inject you guys with some more public affection. Let me just inject you guys, I gave my whole purse to, but this guy's a shitbag. You see on YouTube how his kid said, fuck you. I told you guys he was a shitbag from the start. And I told you guys I read his diary, and I told you that in his diary, his kid said he was a shitbag. His wife said he's a shitbag. The motherfucker's a dirty gypsy, and you guys can see it right in front of your face, but you guys won't believe it. But you guys want to blame me. Motherfuckers, anybody want to blame me, they should make it a law that anybody on the internet wants to blame somebody for some shit, you got to come see that motherfucker. Come see me then. You guys know my location. I don't run a duck out of no motherfucking body. Come see me.
Nick, do you have a relationship with Deontay Wilder? You spoke to them, anything like that?
The only relationship I had with Deontay Wilder was one of his people, PR, was trying to get at me to get him ready for a fight, and then they turned me down because they said he only had these kickboxers or like easier spar partners in his camp or something like that because it's not about the sparring, it's about the fight, which makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, but like the possibility of I worked at Tyson Fury's camp. That's as far as I get with knowing Deontay Wilder or Mark Breland. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I try to reach out to him and say, hey, you guys, I got the Tyson Fury blueprint. If you guys want to whoop this motherfucker, I hit them up before I even released the video. I forgot about that shit. I hit them. They can tell Deontay Wilder to share his DMs. I hit them up before I even released the video. I hit them up saying, oh yeah, let's fuck this man. Because I did. It was about the heart of the game. It wasn't about the paperwork. The promoters, managers, fucking all those people ruin the fucking game for the real people that are doing it. They ruin the fucking game. And then you guys want to put all the blame on the fucking fighters. Man, this shit is fucking bullshit. And then you guys blow up. They'd rather have a white Irish gypsy be a champion in the U.S. He ain't even a champion in his own country. They just suck his dick over there. That's all they do. He ain't even a champion in his own country. The gypsies don't even like him, and the Irish people don't even like him. How the fuck what you are don't even like you? Ask me who I am. Ask me where I came from. Ask me if I got motherfuckers that ride for me right motherfucking now, and I'm not even world champion yet. And they do these shit to black fighters all the time. They even do this shit like for the Odin Wildman fight. Like that fight should have been fucking called. Ain't nobody had no cuts like that. Motherfucker, like get the fuck out of here. They're trying to make him seem the Great White Hope. But they don't want to say it's the Great White Hope because everybody wants to shut away from the racism. But if you look at the facts of ethnic, because we see that you guys are proud when these motherfuckers come in with their flags on their back and they walk in with their country and their flags on their backs and they say, but they don't want to talk about race. But we do it right then and there. We do it right then and there. I'm fighting at the Horseshoe Casino. They don't even know Mexicans. I come out to some Disney Channel song, Lion King. That's what the songs I used to come out to try to sell tickets. And then I come out, fight a Mexican dude, and they're calling me a nigger in the crowd. But it ain't about race, is it? No, the fuck it is. The numbers and the facts stand right there. It is fucking about race. And that's when I was like, okay, that's when I woke up and I said, I'm done telling these motherfucking white people. I'm done saying this motherfucker's going to be superior to me when it's all a fraud. He copied off of Muhammad Ali's style. He can't. Look at Deontay Wilder. Look at Tyson Fury. Who the fuck is who's a superior athlete? Motherfucking Deontay Wilder by a bunch. The only reason why Tyson Fury's there is he's a gangly bastard. And he does what he has to do before every fight to actually fucking win. And if he doesn't, he fucking cheats. And you guys can't fucking see that. This motherfucker pops pills, takes drugs, goes on fucking vacation, fucks a billions of girls, comes back and tries to kiss his sons in the fucking mouth who say fuck you to him, dad, and he's y'all fucking champion? Get the fuck out of here.
Nick.
He's y'all fucking champion.
Nick,
Get the fuck out of here, boy.
Let me jump
they
in
don't
here.
know. You ain't gonna know my fucking name by the end of this shit. Oh God, y'all gonna know my fucking name.
Let me
Nick Asbury, that is.
Let me jump in here.
Y'all gonna know my fucking name.
Nicholas, so what happened? Because you've been inactive for almost 4 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some names out there if we want to do that then.
I mean,
since everybody wants,
we need to know.
Yeah, that is true.
Because listen, let me just walk you through a scenario here. Just walk with me. Don't cut me off, and hopefully you can understand, right? So like, you want people to believe that Tyson Fury's a cheater, and that's cool. You don't want them to believe, but that is your story. And he's on the other side, accomplishing things. Like, you're saying he's not a good fighter, you could beat him, but he just beat Deontay Wilder. Now, obviously, you're saying he's a cheater, but that has to be proven. But he's like, his career is moving, and yours is on a standstill. Like, again, we know you because of this Fury sparring. So when could we get some boxing? Because I know you just signed to a new manager, and why have you been out of the ring for 4 years?
Okay, so I was out, let's see, I got blackballed on my last fight. I was supposed to fight Maurice Mo Better Harris. I was in a 3-week training camp for that fight, took the fight, and then at the end of the fight, they switched my opponent the day of weigh-ins. They switched my opponent to Malcolm Tan. I'm 9-0 at the time. Malcolm Tan's 23-6. I sell enough tickets, so I say, fuck it. So I go in there, cooking his ass up, and then he catches me with a left hook. I got stumbled, but I wasn't hurt. And then there was only like 5 seconds left to the bell rings, and the ref called the fight. And then he goes on to fight Dillian White, and then he goes on to fight somebody else, loses, then goes on to fight Dillian White. Dillian White goes on to, I'm like, and I'm sitting here, I'm signed this promotional company. Now, if you go on BoxRec and look at my boxing record. It's right there since everybody wants to talk about facts. If you go there and click on that event as a fight, I'm on the side of the opponent. I'm signed to that promotional company, Bobby Hits Promotion, and I'm on the side of the opponent. The fight got negotiated, found out I got cashed out, and found out he used me just to pin numbers on me, to pin that fight on me just so he's been training for me for a year when he's been off. And so after that fight happened, trying to come back with another fight, they're the promotional company is still trying to say I have an extension of contract, which I don't because the contract is 3 years past, in which the promoter didn't even sign the contract, which I was neglectful to know at the time because I was sleeping in my fucking car. If I wasn't sleeping in my fucking car, I would be a goddamn champion. Do you guys get that? Does that make sense? Because it's different when you've been growing up as a kid and you pay for your bed sheets. You know what I'm saying? You have 4 other brothers. You pay for them to go to school, pay for them to go to bed sheets. It's some different level shit. And then it's some different level shit, man. It's some different level shit where you fucking homeless, don't got nobody. And then these motherfuckers are taking, you only get paid. So for that fight, let me just tell you, for that fight, I fight that guy. In the main event of the fight, don't even know I'm the main event. I get paid $800 for that fight. Got to split 40%, 2 ways. That's like 2 40% contracts, which I didn't know because I was an amateur at the time, and I was neglectful to read it because I didn't graduate from high school at the time. So I was getting fucked behind the scenes for boxing from a long time. Then I closed down the scenes, and I was going to sign with a promoter. I was going to sign with another promoter called 4 Champs Promoter. I'm putting them all on blast. Fuck the bullshit. I was supposed to sign with them after because I was about to fight like a year ago. I was supposed to fight Derek Finley, Superman Finley's card, and I tore my bicep the week of the fight. I tore my bicep. I was still gonna fight, but I tore my bicep. I had surgery, and it's been a year past right now. But before that, it was me trying to get fights, and this promoter saying he was gonna sue me, which he had no tactical evidence against. And I went to other people, other my friends that happened to graduate and become lawyers that I was able to like, hey, yo, and they say he has nothing on you. And then other promoters promising me deals. And then on top of that, they were trying to. He was trying to keep me on the shelf. I was signed to Bobby Hitt's promotion. It was the worst fucking deal ever to known to man. If you ask any boxer that signed to him, they could tell you right here. And any boxer that has signed to him, you can ask him. What do I got a cap for? Boxers that know the game know this is what it is. This motherfucker was trying to keep me on the.
Looks like he dropped off. Yeah, let me reconnect him. Pick it up for me.
Man, there's a lot of fire going on with
I can appreciate it though. Definitely appreciate it, man, because a lot of the times fighters are not as vocal because they're afraid. They're afraid they're not going to get the deal, or they're afraid to speak because they don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. But there's passion. There's definitely passion, and that shows you something. You know what I'm saying? Guy doesn't want money, doesn't want nothing. So for him to just be bad mouthing somebody just for the hell of it.
I wonder if
I wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him real quick. I wanted to ask him if Tyson Fury has even texted him or anything like that.
I asked him that. He said other people in his surroundings.
I want to know
if the egg weight.
Tyson.
I want to know if the egg weight was used on other fighters, or was it because he put it on Tyson on day one sparring?
We got him back. We got him back. Nick, you there?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. We disconnected. You were going in.
Yeah. It's like basically I was just telling about my life, how the struggles, and like I got some more crazy ass stories in my life, like some crazy ass stories with some other people, like some other scandals. I could tell you about like Dave Dorson from the Bears. I could tell you about some scandals with that man. Like with my mom, that's just crazy. He used to it's some crazy shit. But anyways,
let me navigate here for a bit though. Let's get into boxing. So now you're with Martin, and I don't want to butcher your manager's name, but if you can pronounce his last name, and let us know how'd you make that connection, because he's a London-based management company. So I'm assuming your video is what drawed his attention. If not, please give us the story.
No. My friend, this all happened in the gym, because my friend, Shondell Winters, is also signed on. He's a cruiserweight who just went up to heavyweight to go get some money because he saw it was easy work. And then I was sparring with Shondell for a while, because I've been sparring everybody. Like, I don't know, like, people know who the fuck I am. Like, I don't have to, like, other fighters want to keep quiet and shit, don't act like they don't know who the fuck I've been in camps with Brian Jennings. I know Jared Watt. Like, I've been around. Motherfuckers want to act like I fought Dominic Brazile. Like, people know who the fuck I am. Like, and that, so basically I went, what was the question again? I forgot. Basically, I'm with Martin now. I was sparring with Shondell, and then got Shondell ready for this recent fight. He has this recent. He just had the recent fight versus Joseph Parker, I think it was. I just got. I was just one of his sparring partners for Joseph Parker. Because I got to stay sharp, because everybody. I've been working, even though I'm not. There's no such thing as never in boxing. It's just like a Mikey Garcia had bad promotional deals where he had to wait, and he was still in the gym training, sparring Marcos Maidana, getting him ready for Pacquiao Mayweather. There's just basically I got Shondell ready for the fight. He signed to Martin. Shondell did pretty well in the fight for a cruiserweight, because he's not even for a cruiserweight that started boxing later on in life. He started boxing super late in life, and he did well. And the fight went I think it went 6 rounds or whatever, and then Martel and Martin got the kid, and Martin's like, who's he sparring? Like, blah, 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 and he hit me up, like, hey, like, trying to get this deal. And I already have people, offering me deals, but I'm really reluctant to sign contracts in boxing. Like, there's no reluctance to fight. I bet any boxer would fight any boxer. It's just this business side that's real fugazi, like you sign these contracts and they have finer print in them. They're saying you're like a fucking slave or something, and then and we're gonna take all your money basically in the end. But I was very reluctant to sign contracts, and so negotiating terms of contract, which is very important for any young fighters out there, and getting somebody to protect you and getting people behind you who don't necessarily have anything to do with boxing, but just know you as a person personally, and just know how you carry yourself, and then you should help them help you, and get somebody to look over your contracts and negotiate contracts back and forth. And then we came to an agreement. He really, really wants me on his team, and then all the terms and contracts fit what I want. fit what I like, then they fit what he likes, and so we met in the middle, which should be proper. And I signed the contract, and now we're about to get started. Yeah, he's out of London, so I felt like do a little tour out there. So yeah, because all the good heavyweights, there's a lot of good heavyweights out there. Got a lot of good quality heavyweights, good competition that I want to fight. So like there's a lot of good competition. It seems like the right move. And a lot of things in the U.S. There's no real boxing circuit in Chicago, Illinois. There's none in the Midwest at all. Midwest fighters are known to be tough. Get used as journeyman or whatever. Like there's very few champs. Like there's a lot of greats from the Midwest, but there's not that big of a like there's more boxing on the coast, like in Florida and New York and California. There's really none in the Midwest. And so I feel like that's the best fit for me. And he's dealing with Michael Hunter right now. Michael Hunter, I like the way he's moving right now. And, he's climbing up the ranks. He's taking on all competitors. That's the stuff. That's what I signed up for boxing for. I didn't sign up for this, bullshit, all these games, boxers cheating and shit. Motherfuckers taking steroids but still considered legends. If you take a steroid in a boxing, your genetic makeup is enhanced forever. You will have gains, but based off that. Let me fucking tell you about steroids and shit like that. So it's not just muscle. It's not just bodybuilding. It can enhance your genetic chemical makeup all the way down to your bloodstream. It changes. It can enhance your thought processing, your ability to recover, your ability there's certain shit, aggression, and there's certain things that you can't see that get enhanced that these guys take to enhance themselves to beat on guys because right now where you're at the cusp at right now where you're fighting where you're at the cusp at right now where you got to fight to make a name for yourself, and they're trying to make sure that they don't lose so they get another payday. And if somebody sells them as some type of puncher or some type of if Tyson Fury is getting sold way bigger than he actually is. He's not an athletically gifted guy. He's not athletically appealing. It's not looking at poetry, emotion, watching him. His best things are how he makes people feel by the way he talks. His best qualities don't come from him boxing. People don't be like, oh damn, Tyson Fury, goddamn, you see that his defense, how slick he is, his defense, but if a black fighter is slick and defensive, he gets like Floyd Mayweather, slick defensive talker, he gets fucking shamed on. But if it's Tyson Fury, he gets fucking lifted up in the air, praised. It's wild to me this. But you tell me it's not about race. Well, every time when it comes down to this, it has been every single time since Jack Johnson days. Jack Johnson just now got accepted as a heavyweight champion, shit like that, because something that Donald Trump had to write off. And this stuff is wild to me. And then fighters that get in trouble for weed get what's his name? What's that dude's name? That fought Larry Holmes. That dude that always bends at the waist. His belt taken away from smoking weed. You shouldn't be able to that wouldn't enhance your performance, but you get your belt the Diaz brothers too. These laws are in place only to benefit the cheaters or the people who could get shit covered up. And how are these doping agencies and these sanctioning bodies, and there's no union in boxing. They need to have a fucking union in boxing that can overhead all this shit. They don't want it because everybody wants the individual independent money, which I get it, because they want to keep the rich richer and the poor poor. But if they had a union to unionize boxing, the fans would get better quality fights, better quality fighters, and boxing would be able to develop and go on generation, just like the NBA is developing and going on. Every other sport is developing and going on except for fucking boxing. Got the same rules, and now they're picking and choosing who they want to fight, and everybody can see it. It looks pretty bad to me.
Nick, so if coronavirus and the pandemic didn't hit, what was Martin and your management company telling you in terms of you getting back in the ring? Again, 4 years out the ring, I'm most concerned with when do you get a fight?
Yeah, me too. I've been concerned about that too. I've been hitting up promoters, managers. I've been promised so many fights over the times, and that never happened. Or I had to fight somebody else last minute, or there's been days I've been taking fights on days' notice at times. It's do you see the guys at the top doing that? No. Did they have ever done that? No. They had their way paid for them the whole fucking way. Certain fighters have their way paid for them. Certain fighters don't. And so when we signed with Martin, when this coronavirus happened, I train every single day. I mean, it's on my Instagram. I don't have to front. I don't show people what I do every day because I do different stuff with different coaches and stuff like that. But I train every single fucking day. I've been training every single fucking day, and then like on top of that, there's they want me to start after this coronavirus pandemic is over. After the ban gets lifted of travel airfare, I'm supposed to fly over to overseas and then go with their people and start sparring over there. Hopefully, start working with some fighters and some scientists and some PT, some physical therapists, and like some just the proper thing for proper fighters to go to when they do this gladiator sport. Because all these other sports get looked at. NBA, if somebody stubs a toe, you know what I'm saying? There's like if football, for example, somebody dislocates the dude with long hair with the long ponytail with the curly fry hair that plays for the 49ers, whatever, the fucking quarterback who dislocated his knee, they pulled out the whole game. He's off for like a week. Yuriorkis Gamboa tore his Achilles heel and look at he continues to fight. There should be some counterintuitive, there should be some more pay to that because we're becoming into a more era now. We're more communicative people and not industrial people, so we could talk better. And now we should be able to process more money to these people who are sacrificing more and more in sports. There's more deaths in boxing than any other sport per se ever. And basically, when I after this year, when we go, they lift the ban, go over there, get a signed fight, knock off some. I don't care who it is. Knock off some rust. I don't know who. I don't know. I don't even think I'm rusty. I've been training. I never stopped training. There's never been a layoff for me. I'm a fucking athlete. I eat healthy, and I eat healthy. I live a healthy lifestyle. I don't go out and party. I don't take a bunch of drugs. I don't do none of that shit. I'm a 100% healthy-ass athlete, a healthy-ass human being. And he saw that in me, too, and saw that my dedication and consistency to work, and I do my job. That's what a boxer's job should be. A boxer's job should never be to sell tickets because we're not fucking promoters. It should be the promoter's job to sell fucking tickets. But that's not what the promoter license states, and what everybody should look into the fine print of that. But the boxer should not be worried about selling tickets. He should be able to come to work and do what he has to do and to succeed in his life and make a better life for himself and people around him. And that's what they saw with me, an opportunity to do that and go to Poland and get that fight going next year. And in 2001, hopefully at the end of this year, we want to start fighting people like Price, Chisora, you know what I'm saying, Kimnowski, you know what I'm saying, Charles Martin, you know what I'm saying, Dominic Brazile, you know what I'm saying? We want some Deontay Wilder, you know what I'm saying? The real person I want, it's like a Mortal Kombat game. You all play Mortal Kombat, you get to the characters, you get to the top of the tower. And it feels like they putting Tyson Fury at the top of the tower. I want him at the bottom. I want him right now. But they seem to be putting him far distance from me, which that's the fight I actually really want. And then you guys see if you think I'm a real ass. If you guys don't think I'm a real ass, if I get promoted all the way to that fight, guess what I'll do? I'll take my whole fucking check and I'll do something that people that came from Chicago didn't even do. What Barack Obama didn't even did. I'll flip the whole South Side Chicago. I'll take that whole check and put it in South Side Chicago and make sure there's resources down there because black people are getting hit at the worst of this coronavirus. And it's like being Corona, it's like finally people are experiencing living life on the edge, paying attention to detail, which being black in America already is that. But actually being black in the world already is that because two doctors from France and another doctor from, I think, Australia went on record and said we should use Africans to test our vaccines on, which they've been doing for years in different countries for years on African people. I think it's about damn time you guys start treating us the fuck right. And I got a lot of hate. I got a lot of anger. I got a lot of go. I got a lot of drive. I got a lot of ambition to go forward. And I care what the future sees. A lot of people say, oh, why would you care to share this? Because I care what my kids see. I work at have you guys heard about that story about Laquan McDonald that got shot 16 times?
Nah.
I work at the high school he went to. I care about the future. I work at schools with kids. I work at schools with kids who went through traumatic ass experiences. I'm really out there for mental health people.
You got a lot to say. Do you keep a journal? Because you could, at the end of it all, you could just assemble a book out of this.
I had to teach myself how to carry myself as a man because my dad got locked up, so I had to teach myself how to walk in the room, how to present myself, how the level of my tonality should be, the tone of my pitch should be, the way my arm swings when I carry it, the way if I don't have microfacial expressions to not give it away to not intimidate other people. I studied the game intensely, and I studied myself intensely because I had to change myself who I was as a person. Because I was a street thug doing street thug shit. And I had to change myself through every nook and cranny, inch of detail, one step at a time. And I think that I'm just coming here to influence people and tell people to say what's real. We're tired of all this fake shit. Even the people that are patriotic have questions about what's going on in the U.S. government. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself this. Ask yourself, can you think for yourself? Can you operate for yourself? It's more than this. It's more than this boxing shit. This box.
Let me jump in, Nick, just because, obviously we do have a time limit, but we got a bunch of questions from the people, your fans, so we got...
I'm eating faces off this case.
Say what?
Woo. I'm eating faces off just in case anybody got to know anything about boxing. I'm going to come back on the scene. I was talking shit. Now let's see if the shit that he's talking, if he's going to do it. Oh, damn, the motherfucker signed a contract. Oh, damn, he's making his dreams on paper. Is he really doing what he's saying he's going to fucking do? Man, yes, how the fuck I am. Tyson Fury is a goddamn cheat too. That's all I gotta say, man.
All right, let me get to some of these questions from the fans. We got Carlito in the UK who says, a few months back you spoke about the bad things you have witnessed in boxing, like boxers having the ring set up a certain way. Can you elaborate on this? How can the ring be set up to assist a boxer?
Okay, certain ways. So we get perfect example. We can take the fight, Tyson Fury versus Klitschko fight. Tyson Fury's a mover. He likes to move on his toes. He likes to keep his feet close together for a closer center of gravity because he likes to bounce and jiggle and wiggle and be all like herky-jerky. Klitschko can come forward. He can be a smooth destroyer from long range off the back foot. He can fight forward off the back foot from long range and likes to cut off the ring. So Klitschko figured this guy's going to be bouncing more than I will. And so I'm going to use a cushion ring to absorb some of the bounce out of his legs so he doesn't move as much. Or if somebody that likes to do the rope-a-dope, I'm gonna make sure the middle two ropes are loose because that's where you're at. That's where his ass is. I'm gonna measure how tall the fighter is. I'm gonna measure where his ass is supposed to be at, and I'm gonna loosen up like the middle rope and let his so his ass sinks into the rope, so he's like kind of in a bad position for me to unload either uppercuts or hooks that he can't get him away from. Or let me just make the ring. Let me put a hole in the ring, or pour water on this section of the ring to make it slippery for another fighter to bust his ass. Or let me the logo that I have share in that you see on the side of the ring. Let me put a share in the logo to have a big ass billboard if I'm fighting a moving fighter, or if I want to change my style just based on how I have the ring set up. Ring generalship counts a lot for points in boxing, but also you can do it dirty too. So everything that you can do clean in boxing, you can do dirty. You just got to do it the right way.
All right. So, what was your opinion of the second fight? You never really said that. Wilder versus Fury. No one was expecting Fury to get the knockout. He was saying he was going to get the knockout, and he actually did. Did you see or suspect foul play in that fight?
Yeah. It was just off. Like everything is just off. Like Because leading up to the fight, I don't know if you guys watched do you guys watch any of the build up to the fight on YouTube?
Yes.
But before Tyson Fury kicked out the cameras, he got all the sparring gear on, and he had those Everlast padlock gloves on, power lock gloves that I said he had when we were sparring, and that I said were tampered with. He had those gloves on, but his corner man, his cut man, the one that was in Ultra Wildness camp, just came out with the video saying that we don't use those gloves to spar. Those are bad gloves. But on the build-up to the fight, you got him going in the ring to about to spar to cut off the cameras to wearing those power lock gloves. Like, the lies are done right in front of you, people. Like, I don't know, like, and then, you see, Tyson Fury, this whole thing with the, with him, like, he just donates money and just tries to cover up things. And the second fight, I just saw the game plan with the second fight. The game plan was beautiful. It was a nice crunk style game plan. He looked like a version of Klitschko. All of them look like a version of something because it's God bless. I went to Emmanuel Stewart's funeral actually, but Emmanuel Stewart, R.I.P. Emmanuel Stewart, he has the remedy for tall fighters to exert less energy and throw less punches and be more effective off the 1-2. His game plan for Wilder was beautiful. It was a pound for pound. His game plan. If Gerald Washington would have fought Wilder with that game plan, he would have done the same. He would have done more damage. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just the game plan that had Wilder backing up, but Wilder had to be in fear of something to be backing. He had to be like, okay, I have to back off this line to get. He had to be. Tyson Fury had to have something to keep him off of him. You know what I'm saying? Because for him to back up and not being able to step out to the left side and pivot or do athletic a power jump step to the left side and that or quick step out to the left side and throw it like a left hook. You know, for him not to be able to do that, it looked pretty bad. He made him look like an amateur in the style. But going for with the punching and the way his gloves were flopping around and the way Tyson Fury could gain. So let me just imagine this. He gained so much weight before camps, and he goes into camp, spars these people with this weight. People are like, oh, it's the weight. Why is he not knocking out these people with the weight that he has going into camps? If every time before camp he comes in weighing 315 pounds, every time he comes in camp weighing that much, why isn't he knocking out sparring partners? If you're a puncher, if you're known to be a puncher, you're known to knock out sparring partners. You're not like Mike Tyson knocked out sparring partners. Edwin Valerio knocked out sparring partners. If you're known to be a knockout artist, like he's all of a sudden gonna stop Deontay Wilder, make him go on the back foot, and then stop Deontay Wilder from coming forward and not throwing the 1-2. Like that does not happen. That doesn't happen. He had a great game plan, but he also had the fear of his something with his hands. Like for his hands to be flopping around like a balloon with like some coins in it, like a half blown up balloon with some coins in it, and flopping around and stuff like that. It makes no sense. And you know, these guys with leading up to the fight, they're getting their hands wrapped, they're covering up the camera, they're just being shiesty bastards. This is what they do. This is what gypsies do. I'm not like no cat. This is what the fuck they do. They come up off this like pirates, but they're getting the excuse pass. Like for example, this thing, Tiger King. Like if white people do some crazy shit on camera, it gets excused. But let a black person do that shit. Like what about Elvis? Elvis Presley got married to an underage girl literally in front of our eyes. But he's white, so we forgive him. Tyson Fury does this stuff. Oh, he's white. White people are entitled to be naive, so they don't have to know better. So Tyson Fury could basically go, oh, I don't know, like blah blah blah. But we all know nobody can show a proof of any evidence of a glove that is flopped over like that. Nobody has anything. Nobody has anything. And then the other fighter went on record and said that other fighters in Crump do this. My other fighter, Mateen Muhammad, he used to train Tyrone Trice. Tyrone Trice fought Simon Brown. Tyrone Trice was also from Crump Gym during the time. He used to spar at Crump Gym, and my trainer was from there. He told me about the fucking shit what they do with gloves, how they pull them halfway off. They got a whole fucking thing about that shit. And like with these new things, with these new technologies now, these egg weights and stuff, this shit can slip inside gloves. Or fighters, you just put this inside their hand and put this inside their hand after they put their hands on, and then you have they sign off on the reps, and then they could go through their bag or whatever. They could go like act like they're putting on their cup and have it inside their cup. You know what I'm saying? Have it like the slit in their cup, have it inside the cup, take it out the cup. You know, this shit that people have to watch for. This is the sneaky stuff that goes on in boxing. You know, and like Nick, with the whole thing with
let me jump in. We got some more just to keep it on subject. We got Ruin of 504 in New Orleans. He wants to know, what's your response to Jorge Capetillo, who claims that Fury's gloves were not tampered with?
First of all, whose man is that? That's who I want to know. Who a Capetillo? I don't even know who the fuck that is. First of all, he said he came out that video and said Tyson Fury doesn't use these gloves in his camp. Excuse me, Mr. Capetillo. You weren't even in the first fucking camp versus him and Wilder. You came in the older Wilder camp. And if I'm not mistaken, was he in this last fight with Tyson Fury, or was it Dick Draculage?
Nah, I don't think he was there for the second fight. In terms of being a cut man.
It was Capetillo, whatever his name is. It was him?
Not for the second fight.
Oh, okay, even better. So he fought Wilder. Wow. So he was only there for one fucking fight, but he gets paid all this money. You man, stop, man. Like what the? He wasn't even in the second Wilder fight. That's going to tell you if they praised him as some godly cutman. Look how Tyson Fury's praising his people. He praised his trainer Ben Davison, got rid of him. Oh, Ben Davison was there. I would never got rid of him. He praised fucking He praised who else did he praise? He praised fucking this cut man, got rid of him. He wasn't even in the Wilder fight. He put Dick Draculage in. And this guy came out with a video with false information on it. And leading up to the fight, he wasn't even in the camp for the first fight. He was just a substitute for the Wilder fight. They probably picked him up an hour before the fight started. Like, come on now, people. Come on, man. Damn, it's right in front of your face.
All right, I got another one here. Stonebone Boxing in Colorado says, I'm sure this situation has made it difficult for you to progress your career. Do you feel you are being blackballed?
Hell yeah, I'm being blackballed from boxing. I mean, nobody wants to with no Negro talking. No, they don't want nobody like me to be no champion. No good-looking black dude like me to be no champion. Like Joshua had the whole fight happen out in England. He had every fight in England. He came to America and got a fucking wake-up call. That's what the fuck happened. He came to America on that England shit and got a wake-up call. And then it was like they won't want no nigga up there like that, me talking like that, dude. I got blackballed out of boxing so many times because they just want to use. If you have good numbers in boxing, they want to use you. They want to use you just for your numbers, just so they could build up their fighter. Everybody's thinking of their fighter, and initially they're not even thinking of their fighter. They're thinking of they're thinking of how much money they can make. In boxing, it's not about the fight that's happening now. It's about the next fight. So when you watch a mega fight, they don't get too indulged emotionally in this fight. Think about the fight after this, that they can build a story after this. Because boxing has to continue this story. Because without boxers, there's no boxing. You see, so they have to influence people, keep the media influenced. You know, with Rocky movies and shit. That's not boxing. Like the first Rocky movie, taking punches is not boxing. Rocky talking half retarded isn't boxing. That shit ain't boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's not boxing at all. And they sell these fake dreams that they blackball me for boxing and wanted to keep me in the streets. And I'm in Chicago circuit. You know, Chicago is the most segregated city in the world. What does that tell you? Am I saying the black man cry? No, I'm telling the truth. It's the most segregated city in the world. Come to Chicago and see where all the crime is at. Where all the gun lovers be like, oh yeah, we need our guns because look at all the crime rate going on in Chicago. But fuck, you're not even from the location this crime is going on in. You're not even from these gun dangerous cultures are. And you're telling me these people can't even spell or get money to even feed themselves? No. Better yet, you're telling me the number one people on welfare are white, and they're also the most richest people in the world. But you're telling me black people, the most poorest people in the world, aren't even on welfare. So you're telling me they couldn't even give resources to help themselves, even if they knew how to help themselves. Like it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep our people down. They don't want to see us up. If all black people were up, what would it do? Look at the best athletes. Look who the best athletes are. Look who's leading the culture. Look where shit got stolen from. You know, white girls go forever to go tanning. You know what I'm saying? But to come home and have their dads call somebody a nigger, they go tanning forever. You know what I'm saying? They get those lips forever. They get those ass forever. They want that. They want to look black so bad, man. But nobody wants to give us our credit. They don't want no nigga like me up there talking like this. They don't want me talking about the real shit. They don't want me talking about the real facts of how people are real struggling. Not just even black people, just our people in general. They care more about a dollar than the actual people. That's what's wrong with these rich, with everybody who's up there in life, like who just can't forget about who wants to run shit. They forget about the actual people who put them there. It's about humanity. These people aren't on Team Human. If you're a human, you love humanity. And you should love that you want somebody prosperous to be champion. Somebody there who actually represents behind the scenes well and in front of the scenes well as a champion. Not somebody who's going to lie to the public. I got blackballed out of boxing because they build champions. They build whoever they want. Have you seen The Great White Hope? That movie's a perfect movie of how boxing is. They build these guys. They build these guys to a certain level. Just imagine in the movie The Great White Hope, Larry Holmes versus versus that one guy. Fucking that one guy. Larry Holmes versus that one left hook fighter, the white guy. That was one of the most grossing boxing fights, not because of who the fighters were skill wise, because of race. It's because of race. That was the number one sales pitch. Nick, that was the number one sales pitch. You're lying. They didn't say, oh yeah, this racist. No, they didn't say this racist fight. What they did is said, this guy versus this black guy versus this white guy. It's not about race. That's what they kept on saying. They sold this fight saying it's not about race. But when all actually it was about race. It was about to see if the Great White Hope, they even called him the Great White Hope, could beat this black guy. There's been for years, since Jack Johnson, they've been trying to dethrone the black champion. They don't want no brother up there talking like the way they do. They don't want no brown person up like they just had the first Mexican champ.
But Nick, didn't they have that with Wilder? Wilder was just as spoken as you, and he even came up with To This Day, which is part of the movement.
Exactly, to this day. But what crowd is he touching? Tyson Fury went out there and asked people in USA who was Deontay Wilder. Nobody. Eddie Hearn. Who's getting sold? Like who's like they don't want nobody on that pedestal. They don't even USA don't even know who their fucking champion is. But I bet you if they know more about Tyson Fury being the champion, they do Deontay Wilder. And if that don't seem about white to me, I don't know what it does. He did come up with, to this day, he did come up with certain things and sayings and stuff like that. But he's not. But I don't know if he's in the streets all the time, volunteering, doing real work, doing the footwork. You know what I'm saying? In the real trenches. You know what I'm saying? With the real gorillas. You know what I'm saying? He's probably in steak dinner somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because no shade to him. He got his money, got out of the situation, got to his life. But, you know, there's different levels. There's people like Deontay Wilder has the same intensive energy as Muhammad Ali did, but look how much people Muhammad Ali touched. Muhammad Ali touched the whole world. Everybody knew who he was. Everybody. And Deontay Wilder's still an outspoken champion, but look how much people in the U.S. barely know about him. That says it all right there. They barely know about him in the U.S.
Nah,
I don't know.
You,
and then
let me get to this one real quick. This one is from the UK. George Foster says, Tyson Fury said he's disappointed in the challenge that Wilder brought to him. How did you feel about the performance of Wilder specifically? Is there any way back for him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, he has to go. He has to, first of all, health is first, so he has to go get checked up because his ear was blowed up from the inside, like, and he had a big ass knot on the back of his head. So hopefully, like, he can get everything, all his senses back together, you know, recover and get, you know, be a full health as a man, you know. But besides that, he has to go to boxing school 1-on-1, man. Like, I mean, one thing works for you. They say if it's don't broke, don't fix it in boxing. But it doesn't hurt to revisit the fundamental steps of the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Because it looked like somebody goes to the gym, like there's been some guy who goes to the gym for a month, and then a guy goes to the gym for the first week and be like, I want to spar somebody. The guy who's been going to the gym for a month goes and spars this guy and beats his ass, makes him toys with him, and this guy's like, it's the same thing with that fight. He made him look like an amateur. He made him back up into a corner, which like he made him gravitate towards the corner. Not even like trap him he gravitated towards the corner and retreat. So, and he backed him up. The crunk style. The crunk style is to come forward and try to knock you out. Look at Tommy Hearns with that 1-2. Look at Hilter McKenty. Look at some Gerald McCullough. That long 1-2 it's the same. Look at Gerald McCullough. That was a perfect fight. Gerald McCullough versus Julian Jackson. That was a fire fight. Gerald McCullough versus Nigel Benn. I think it is. Like, you should look at that fight. Like the way Gerald McCullough's coming for these 1-2s and then putting the post out there to keep distance. And Tyson Fury, he was doing the most basic shit. He would just come forward. He would just work a come forward. He only did like 3 movements overall. A come forward jab. He didn't dip at the waist and waste that movement either. He did nothing that was a fundamentally. Everything he did was necessary to win. Like it was all like like watching Joe Louis. Like every step Joe Louis took, was to win a fight. It wasn't like a bounce bout like a Prince Nassim Ahmed. There's extra goofy shit to win. No, and every step that he took in this fight, Tyson Fury took was to win this fight. And you saw that in his performance. And all he was doing was jabs and then jab, and jab, retreat, step back, step in, 1-2. That's what he did. Jab, retreat, pull back, step in, 1-2. It's the old crunk style. And it was a great style to fight Deontay. Deontay Wilder got exposed. Deontay Wilder you can never write any man off in anything, in anything. You can never write any man off because there's no such thing as writing people off because you can't do that. You got to believe in people. You got to believe. Like if you fight somebody, you got to believe that they're coming in their best self to fight you. So you can't write Deontay Wilder off like he cannot learn the basics to go to a gym and just learn a step around, or if when I get hurt, I do this, or how to smother, or how to go downstairs to the body, or how to change levels on people, how to jab Tyson Fury's body, stabilize him, fake downstairs, get Tyson Fury to flinch, and then come upstairs with a right hand. Or learn how to throw a straight right, learn how to throw a right hand in different ways, give different deliveries. You know what I'm saying? He giving dominoes every time. You need to give him dominoes, Papa John's, Pizza Hut. You need to give a different delivery the way he gives them punches. You know what I'm saying? Because if you giving fastballs every time, guess what? I'm gonna take your fastball away from you. And guess what? You better throw a slider. Okay, now you're throwing a slider. Now you're throwing a curveball. He throws 100 miles per hour, waits for his opportunity. Sometimes if you wait for opportunity, just like in life, if you wait for opportunities and you don't chase them, you don't pursue them, they won't present themselves to you. And sometimes his style with waiting for opportunity, don't get too stuck in his ways. He has all this all this resource and technology to be like, hey, I made these fundamentals mistakes, and I can correct them right here. All I need to do is these 3 things. It's not even 3 things. It's probably like 2 things that he needs to learn how to do, and he could be a whole different fighter. It's like boxing is like the little shit, like one little thing can change a lot of stuff for you in boxing,
Nick,
and that's why. Yeah.
What's your amateur background?
56-6, number 5 in the nation. I told you, motherfuckers better know my name. I won Chicago. I was in Chicago Golden Gloves in 2012. I lost an Olympic reload tournament to Dominic Brazil. I couldn't get no fights. Then I turned pro.
Any nationals? You won any nationals?
I was runner up in ringside tournament, runner up in Golden Glove Nationals 2012. That's where I met Adrian Broner in Minnesota, and then I met Floyd Mayweather in when I went to Las Vegas when he was fighting Miguel Cotto for the National Golden Gloves out there. I lost in the first round out there. Because, man, the amateur style was the bullshit, man. People would tap me and run.
I understand, especially back then, you guys still had the headgear on. But listen, let's switch up the pace just a little bit and get some boxing questions. We got Intriguing Atlanta says, when the smoke clears, which one of these young, hungry lions will have the most prestigious career in the welterweight division? Jerome Boots Ennis or Virgil Ortiz or Brandon Lee?
I think Brandon Lee. Honestly, I think Brandon Lee. I like Virgil Ortiz though, but Brandon Lee is like I'm going with Brandon Lee because Brandon Lee, he has his family behind him. He's like some fighters are like emotionally unstable and stuff like that. He's calm as a cucumber. You know what I'm saying? He has power. He's a tall dude. You know what I'm saying? He has his name. Resembles Bruce Lee. He's a speed guy with good hooking power. And he's looking for the better fights, the better qualities. A young, hungry lion. I got my money on Brandon Lee. A tall, rangy guy too, and a possibility to move up in weight classes too. So with all these young guys in boxing too, man, it's about to be some good stuff. These guys like Virgil Ortiz, man, he's nice too, man. It's hard because these young guys, man, they're like ahead of their time. So these welterweights. So that's why I look at it. But I got Brandon Lee though.
All right. We got JT in New Orleans says, Earl Spence, is he a good fighter or a great fighter at 154 pounds?
What is that? Is that where he fought Kell Brook at?
No. Well, right now he's all his success has been at 147, but I guess he's asking you if he were to move up, do you consider him that he would only be a good fighter at that weight of 154, or do you consider that he could be great at 154?
I mean, like, honestly, I think Earl Spence got grenades in his. I think he's blessed. So, like, with the pound for pound strength, I've seen him live before at tournaments and stuff, and just seeing him like is really, really like he throws like some power, and he throws some shots and he throws body shots too that nobody can see. Like he's sneaky as hell. But like I think that sneakiness is pound for pound that can move up with him. That pushing power, how he moves guys around with his punches. Possibly. I think how tall, he's like 5'8", right? 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
5'10".
I think he might be 5'10".
Like who's at that 54 weight class? Who's the champion right now? What is it?
Jason Rosario is there. Jason Rosario just knocked out Julian Williams. Patrick Teixeira is the WBO champion. He just knocked out Carlos Adames.
Oh man. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, he spars with Charlo, so he knows how it feels up there. Mm-hmm. So. Like if he's Charles' main spot partner, I'm pretty sure he can handle himself up there. I'm pretty sure he could be great because watching him as an amateur, because some of these guys, like I saw Tank as an amateur too, and I like seeing these guys, I was like, damn, this motherfucker right here, dude, this dude is gonna be a monster. Like you can see some people at amateur tournaments and be like, yeah, he was one of those people who fought anybody, moved up and his weight varied as I don't know if he came in the same way every time as an amateur. He might have came in heavy a few times and fought like a little heavier. But I'm pretty sure he can handle himself up there and push those. Those guys are gonna be a lot stronger though, because it might almost even out the strength category. Because the weight class he's right now makes his strength is like the way he moves guys. He moves them really easily up at that weight class. If he tries to move guys, I don't know per se, but what he proved and what he showed is we haven't seen all of Earl Spence, and I'm damn willing sure that he is going to do great at that weight class because he can box too. He showed a little bit versus Mikey Garcia with the jab, but he could box and he could come. He could do what? There's not much he can't do. So him at that weight class is really good, I think. I think he could be great at that weight class.
We got J Mac in New Orleans that says, do you think Canelo Alvarez ate the tainted meat or did he just cheat?
Man, look. Boy, tainted meat. What kind, like, where do these boxers get this exotic ass meat from? I'm sorry, like, where are these mystic ass animals that they're going? Are they going through the closet and going to Narnia and going and getting this exotic ass creatures and finding this meat? Like, dude, where have these pigs been? Like, where the fuck you find wild boar meat with steroids? Like, what kind of animals are they giving these motherfuckers? Like, honestly, yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, honestly, like, I don't believe that. That's all bullshit. That's stupid. That is dumb as hell. One of my buddies, man, dude, boy, man, it's like saying somebody, man, dude, that's dumb as hell. Man, dumb as hell. You can fucking, like, how you gonna say you ate a tainted meat? Like, first of all, aren't you, if you're an athlete, you're an athlete at that level, you have a nutritionist. Am I wrong? They have nutritionists. So you know exactly everything that's going in your fucking body. Even when you're off season, you know everything that's going into your fucking body because you have nutritionists. Canelo don't cook his own. Canelo don't even make his own goddamn cereal. He knows he knows what the fuck they're cutting and putting in his body. He knows damn well. Trying to tell me it's some damn meat. Boy, you knew exactly what they didn't just say, eat this. What is it? I don't know. Shut the fuck up, mijo, and eat it. Like, they didn't tell him that. They told, like, he wasn't down with that.
Nick, I gotta ask, man. I gotta ask. So, what's your thoughts on the Big Baby situation? He just signed a Top Rank, and he had this big opportunity, $6.5 million to fight AJ, New York City, Madison Square Garden, and he tested positive.
Man, look, boy, yo, like, at least if you go talk some shit about something, make sure your shit ain't like. If you look at your neighbor's house while it's on fire and, like, laughing and shit, and then you look at your neighbor's house and somebody across the street like, hey man, your shit on fire though, and your whole house burned the fuck down, like, and then your foundation burned down too, and then fucking all your memorabilia, everything burned down. He diminished his name. There shouldn't be no people who take steroids in boxing. I'm sorry. Regardless of what you think, I see this dude hanging out with other bodybuilders who are known for taking steroids. As a matter of fact, Rich Panina, another famous YouTube guy, is known for he was hanging around fucking Big Baby too, and that's how I knew he was on steroids. He was hanging around Rich Steroid Head Panina. Like, these motherfuckers take these roids, and, like, this shit forever will genetically enhance your DNA makeup. It will forever be like, after you take steroids the first time, you're probably, I don't know, I haven't took them, but, like, I don't know how the fuck it operates, but I don't know if it alters your genetic the first time, but I know after, like, the second or three times, you start fucking changing. People start changing, even women, even, like, people in trans communities, they take steroid shots to try to change their sexuality, make it more testosterone or estrogen. But there's other things that could be blocked in your body, and other enzymes and DNAs and chemicals and endorphins that could be released to help you maximize out your performance above your human natural abilities, which is fucking wrong. And you're a goofy ass motherfucker. If you gonna say that, if you gonna be like, man, this motherfucker on steroids, show him in some tight ass G.I. Joe pants. Talking about some, my fault. My problem is, why the fuck he always got a tight ass shirt on that don't fit? Motherfucker, first of all, don't come up to this thing wearing some tight ass shirt on that don't fit, which you got sweat under your tits, and now you're sitting here talking about somebody else on steroids, and you taking steroids. Motherfucker, that's goofy as hell. That is the most, like, he should be out of boxing. Why the fuck is he boxed? He would never been right. He got kicked too much hard by Michael Krokop, kicked his ass too hard in the fucking head too many times. He's fucking out of his mind, dude. Like, you can't blame another person for taking steroids when you take steroids. You should be kicked out of boxing. Like, period. There's no fucking second chance. Because was there a second chance for Patrick Day? Was there a second chance for any of those people that died in boxing? Was there? No. Can everybody answer no? And everybody be like, one mistake in, it's Randall Tex counts at best. I made this post. Randall Tex counts at best. You make a mistake in tennis, that's love. You make a mistake in boxing, that's your ass. So tell me this. Is it okay for somebody to cheat and when all it takes is one fucking punch? No, he's gone. Sorry, see you later. Suck a dick, Big Baby. And first of all, why is your name Big? You a grown-ass man. How old is you? There's a certain age limit where you can't call yourself a baby no more. I'm sorry. Like, this shit doesn't happen, especially being a heavyweight. You can't be no big baby. This ain't no for the soft man only. He tries to go everywhere and bully. He tries to start fights with fucking fans. I offer people who speak to me negatively on the internet, I offer them to come to my gym and spar me. I'm not going to fight you in the fucking streets. I'm not going to try to kill you. This motherfucker goes and tries to beat up people in the fucking streets. You want him to be your champion too? Some steroid up gorilla? Like, come on, man, this big water balloon baby, he built like Jigglypuff. Y'all out here selling, man, and then I don't even know, like, he kickboxes and he's a pillow duster for a fighter, and he fought everybody on steroids. Tell me why this man 305 pounds fighting the head. Man, get the fuck out of here. 305 pounds, it's all muscle. I do cardio. No, the fuck you don't. 305 pounds, you don't do no goddamn motherfucker. That shit all in your chair. You got a head like Barry Bonds. That boy got a head like Barry Bonds on my mama. Dude, man, fuck that shit. That motherfucker on steroids. Fuck him. Get him out of boxing. Next question.
That's actually the last question, Nick. Man, we want to thank you obviously for your time. But we do want to get you back on, man. As soon as Corona clears up, and I'm gonna keep in touch with Martin. You know, I've been interviewing a lot of his fighters. We definitely can get you back on whatever they announce for you, man. You've been a fantastic interview. Our live chat is definitely entertained. We appreciate your candidness. Please give out your social media. People have been asking. I am screen sharing your social media at Terra1211990. We need to change that to Nicholas Asbury, baby, so it's easier to find you.
We need to get you to the top of the search. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to just, boop, Nick, boop. Right
all right, cool.
You put roadblocks in the social media road for yourself, brother.
Yeah, you're right. You get on there, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know the game like that, man. Thank you for putting me on, though.
Nick Asbury on everything.
Yeah, Nicholas Asbury on all forms of social media should be. Brother, you've got a fantastic story. We're glad that you opened it up and let our audience know all about it. We appreciate you. Please give out that social media for anyone who isn't following you can do so. And thank you again for your time.
Okay, you guys can follow me on Facebook at Nicholas Asbury, NicholasAsb as in boy, ERRY. Instagram at Terror, TERROR 121990 on Instagram and Twitter. But I'm going to try to change it because I just got schooled. You know what I'm saying? I learned lessons. I learned them quick. You know what I'm saying? I learned the social media lessons.
Like a social security number you was giving me right now.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yo, he said Hey, Nick, he said your Instagram is a social security.
That's my birthday.
I appreciate it, man.
Nah, I figured it was your birthday. Man.
Hey, Nick, I got an idea for you if you ain't come up with it yet, man. You should go to a recording studio and just release an audio book on, your life and the fight game as you see it.
I'm gonna go on record real quick just to tell you thank you for your candidness, just like Ness said, and your openness, because a lot of these things are not spoken of out of fear. And I pray that the good Lord is with you in all your ventures. It's not easy to be outspoken like this. Some people think that it's easy to just put yourself in that type of seat. You know what I'm saying, where you're speaking your mind and you're putting things into light where normally a lot of people are not privy to these things. So I appreciate you, bro, and I pray that that the good Lord blesses you with whatever opportunities that you're wishing for.
Amen.
Thank you, guys, man. That meant a lot, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. That meant a lot.
All right, bless up, man.
Thank you, Nick, and can't wait to get you back on. Shout out to Martin and shout out to MSM Poll Management. Nick, thank you once again. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Top contender, up and coming prospect, I guess, contender, Nicholas Asbury. Very, very candid, outspoken, man. Yo, so what'd you guys think? That was a lot. It was
dope. It was a lot. It was very informative. A lot of things that I kind of was suspicious of after seeing the glove gate, he kind of touched on, so I was siding with it. I like that he looks up to Muhammad Ali, uses him as a reference because my son had to write a bio on Muhammad Ali and I helped him out, and I learned a lot about it, and it does mean a lot when you're a celebrity celebrated in boxing and how you use your celebrity to bring awareness, which was what Muhammad Ali did. And he won in the Olympics, and they didn't even serve him at a restaurant because he was black. So they also wanted to get him to go to war. And he was like, why do I go to war for the U.S. if they not going to war for me eating in the restaurant? So I see his points, and I sided with him. So I think he has a great heart. He just got a lot of anger in there because he feels the betrayal, which is deep. A lot of people can't relate to that.
Absolutely, and you touched on it. Just exactly what I was going to say, Enrique, is that he speaks for not only himself, I believe, but for many who are going through the struggles and becoming a professional fighter and dealing with all the business and everything else that comes along with fighting. A lot of the times, you're told just to fight. Don't worry about anything else. And, Tyson did it for a long time, and, he ignored the business side of it and concentrated on having a good time in fighting. And, some of his money, or a lot of his money was, taken from him. And, we can go on about many fighters who've experienced the dark side of boxing. So
it's betrayal, right?
No. And you're right. It's not only betrayal, it's a ton of other stuff, but betrayal is the perfect word for it, because when you're expecting your managers, your promoters, you're expecting everybody around you to have the best interest for you,
He also touched about like how much work a fighter, individual, one guy, man against man is putting in, and then you got 40% to give, but you're giving 100%.
That's the point, and that said it. Everybody, you're your own business. You are the business.
You are the business.
There's no franchise. There's no team.
But there's direction. You got to break into the business, like any business. And then there's guys that you trust that say, "Yo, I'm gonna guide you into this business." And then that's why I use betrayal.
It's a dirty game. I mean, look, Mike
dirty.
Tyson said it best. When he first said it. When I first heard it, I think I heard Mike Tyson saying it a couple years ago in an interview. It's like peddling in the flesh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're a piece of meat, and not everybody's Mother Teresa. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a game for saints, man. And you're just wondering who's gonna have your back truly, man. So any advice that I would give anybody starting up would be just go ahead.
Straight off subject. I think this the longest I've gone without a haircut, bro. I'm looking crazy right now,
bro.
Yo,
stop.
you not
You
alone,
you just took off the wave cap. You trying to wave it up?
Wave cap, bro. He
trying to splash out there.
You're not alone, but at least like under your chin look tamed. Like my shit.
Oh yeah, because I got the machine. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm going to get the machine today. I'm about to let my lady cut.
And
me,
I got a straight edge. Anytime I want to get fancy, I do the straight edge. But I always cut myself slightly, just a little bit. Nothing too noticeable. But I always.
I never learned how to use straight edge.
Nah, I'm nasty with the straight edge on myself.
Bro, I was too scared.
I just ain't got the back. I can't do the back. My man Matt in Ohio, bro. I've been knowing him forever. He could do this whole haircut.
Yo,
I can't do the back.
What about? Yeah, I seen dudes do their own haircut too.
Yeah, the
what
mirror
about?
and shit.
What about? Yeah, what about when we address when I don't know who brought up the tainted meat, and he said it wasn't like somebody said eat this mijo and shut up.
Yeah, no, he said jovencito.
Yeah, but
he said my man Canelo don't even make his own cereal.
Yeah, that was funny. He was entertaining. Let's jump out to these phone calls, man. We got a lot of callers. All right, we're gonna bring you back just a bit, even though Nick kept us on topic. We are discussing Tyson Fury trolling Wilder. He's taking the third fight for money, probably a lot of bills. I don't know where you jumped in, Enrique, but you probably want to give your take on this. Do you think he's trolling? I mean...
is he saying, because I didn't see this, I wasn't on social media, and I didn't get that in the email. I just saw it as a title. So is he trolling? Is he saying he's taking the third fight for money?
He's saying Wilder's taking the third fight for money because he says Wilder and Americans live like rock stars and they run through their money. He brought up Mike Tyson. He's like, didn't Mike Tyson blow through like $1 billion and all this stuff? So, he's trying to say that Wilder probably taking this fight for money and not because he think he could win.
we gotta remember he's PBC, and PBC, they not only just advisors, they also financial advisors as well. That's what the whole thing started, right? So I doubt it about the money. I'm sure he's got it spread in ways to make money. It would be a surprise if he did. How did Tyson Fury get that information is the question I would ask. Like, how do you know Tyson? So then he's trolling. I'm sure they're not friends. I'm sure that the last text was like, yo, you good? Man, good fight. Thanks. Boom, I'm good. See you again on the next one. But other than that, I don't think that, he's got some kind of inside game to the life of Wilder. So trolling him 100%.
All right, well, let's go out to these callers then. We're going to jump out to the sponsors real quick. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation.
I'm Barack Obama, and I support the Boxing Voice.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
All right. We're going out to Boomerang, J Mac, New Orleans. What up? J Mac.
Yo, with my intro.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm not used to you. I'm not used to him being on Blog Talk, but I like it better over there.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla. I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Derek.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing. You want to bet?
You can bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, good morning.
Good morning.
Shout out to my brother for putting me on game because I would have missed this interview, and that question was planted because I knew the guy had a strong opinion about his the way these boxers are getting away with being able to put out excuses for suckers like somebody on this show to think this man actually ate 10 and eating instead of cheating the sport and shit like that, man. That was classical, man. I seen that you changed it up too, man. You couldn't take it out.
I just was specific.
I
didn't change it up. I added tainted in front of the word meat, and I put specific in front of another word.
I'm not talking about changing. I'm talking about changing it up for put it on Big Baby because you couldn't handle that Canelo smoke.
No. Like you, another person in the chat who's also a Patreon like you, Carlito, said, ask him about Big Baby. Why are you mad?
But I'm not mad. What's the question on there? My question.
Cut it.
Yo, he don't care nothing about nothing. All he want to do is argue with Ness. Hilarious. Yo, get mad at Carlito. He had the question. I asked it. We're going to, let me go out to Israel and Oklahoma. Talk to me.
Hey, Daz, that was a telling interview, man. I agree with a lot of that stuff, and I'm just still kind of coming down off that interview, so I really ain't got much to add. I just want to know why you wouldn't ask my question, man. Come on. That's my call.
So, yeah, I mean, dude, because he came in with that energy. We all loved the energy, and your question was like, I don't know, sarcasm, where he could have took it offensive, right? So we loved his energy and how outgoing and loud he was. And your question was down the lines about, let me pull it up, because both you and JT questioned me, right? So it's because I'm just looking betterment of the show. So Israel's question was, what brand of coffee do you drink? Asking for a friend. And then he goes on, but his normal thing, which is, but seriously, when you in Oklahoma, I mean, when and if you come through Oklahoma, lunch is on him, which is his always thing. But because his energy was so high, I feel like asking him what coffee he drinks could have been taken offensive. Like, yo, what you trying to say? That I'm drunk off coffee, and that's why I'm loud and outgoing and outspoken. Like, I didn't want to offend him. So for J-Mac, he said, did Canelo Alvarez eat meat or did he cheat? So obviously I cleaned that up. Did Canelo Alvarez eat tainted meat, or did he actually? I mean, did he actually cheat? You know what I mean? Like, cleaned it up. Cause you guys are like rushing. You're rushing through your question. Some of them are like Bud versus Earl. Like, damn, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give the man and I'm just saying, I don't know. Like, I get the asking certain things, but also, you know, it would probably make that fighter feel good if you asked him something about himself. You know what I mean? But we going out to Robert Bomb Boxing. Sorry about that. Bomb Boxing, what up? I want to continue to get my interviews, man. So yeah, I want to phrase the question in a way that we both are satisfied. You know, that the interviewer comes back, or the interviewee comes back, and that, you know, the person on Patreon asking the question is also satisfied. Bomb Boxing, are you busy? Just listening right now? No problem. Going once, twice. Stone Bone Boxing, talk to us.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me, man. I'm in my mom's.
We hear you
basement.
perfect.
Okay, cool. Last time I was in her basement, her Wi-Fi be going crazy. Yeah, I'm packing up, man, leaving from Omaha, man. I met with everybody, man. It was a beautiful time. It's a little sketchy, everybody trying to stay away, but that's a good interview, man. I like the energy, man. I like his honesty. Call these dudes out, man. Quit. Everybody want to dance around it sometimes because it's their favorite fighter, or I mean, they love what he bring to the sport, or because he a big draw. They give a lot of guys passes, man, and people suffer. Like real people, real fighters who are borrowing money, trying to stay in the game, getting blackballed because the guys getting called out for their cheating. So we need to stay. Today was a informative day. You know what I mean? It was one of those days where this was what's that Outside the Lines on ESPN? This was one of those. You know what I mean? Outside the Ropes. You need to call this show Outside the Ropes show, Ness, where you're giving guys an inside look and not just the backstory and the drama of boxing, but how people's actual lives are being touched from these guys manipulating gloves and all these different dirty tactics that have been a part of boxing for 100 years. So it ain't nothing new, and people acting like it's coming out of nowhere. No, it's real, but I still blame.
Totally agree with the caller, bro. Totally agree.
Yeah, Stonebone Boxing, thanks for calling in. Let me see here where we going. We're going to Boomerang. Trey in the Bay, what up?
What up?
What up?
That was a good interview, man. That dude was letting it go on y'all. That's got to keep cutting in. Hey, and J-Mac, good question, bruh. He think Canelo is the meat man. He don't agree with that bullshit meat story like normal people. Where they get that meat from, Ness?
Mexico.
Uh-huh. Hey, I always thought that though, like, bro, you rich. And don't you got a house in San Diego? Why the fuck you eating meat down in Mexico before a fight when you know your shit can piss dirty? Shit, that's my first call.
He also live in Mexico. That's like telling me don't eat in the DR when I'm out there. Like, when he's out there, he's supposed to stop eating meat? You know, if this was a Canelo thing, which is I'm not saying that it can't be, all right? Let me make that clear. I'm not saying that this can't be a form of him cheating, but WADA isn't VADA. WADA is the World Anti-Doping Agency. WADA does all the testing and raises, lowers, sets all the limits. Everybody in all sports follow WADA.
Yep.
WADA raised the clenbuterol levels because they understand that in Mexico, that's not something that is uncommon. It is very common.
Soccer players alike have, been tested positive.
It's just that
for the same thing.
these I don't even know what to call them. Like, you guys try so hard.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, you can just make sure that as the leading organization to say don't eat the meat down there. I mean, you're rich.
Well,
man.
they would have to ban it. They would have to ban
I don't
the
get that. I don't
consumption
get that
of the
either,
meat.
First, also, I've eaten beef in Mexico and Argentina and United States. They're all good, but they all have distinctive flavor.
Yes.
Like, I had one of the best porterhouses in Mexico, rock salt and everything.
So why? Because it had a little extra clenbuterol in it?
Nah, I'm just saying. Like they said, why don't you eat in San Diego? And he's probably like, yo, I want a Mexican steak.
It's not what you want to do, though. If you're gonna put a standard, if you're gonna put a standard on things, and you're gonna say we want to clean up the sport.
Oh my God,
you're not gonna go ahead and say, oh yeah, we're gonna raise the clenbuterol levels just a little bit of what we accept because we know that in your country, in your region, you eat that type of meat.
Not you. All of Mexico sports. Not Canelo.
All right. So why? So because you're training in Mexico,
they can't control it. First of all, you said it. Soccer, all these other sports are still there. Not everyone can relocate to America or another country.
I'm not speaking on all sports. I understand your point of view.
But WADA controls all of them. They're not the World Doping Agency for boxing.
I'm specifically speaking for boxing.
But that's what I'm telling you. They are not the World Doping Agency just for boxing. They're making a universal call. Their levels of clenbuterol.
How is that fair? How is that fair to somebody that's fighting in Europe where there is no fucking tainted cow meat?
Something that
brother, it don't matter. It don't matter about fair. What's unfair is that Mexican athletes are being, suspended. No. They're not given a pass. See, they're being suspended, fined, all these things when they can't help the meat that is there. You gonna fly in some different meat for them?
Bro, that just gives them that just puts them in a situation. Listen, man, they're regulating it, but
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. Yo, they need to ban the meat in general. But it's also difficult. We're talking about a third world country. Mexico isn't it's not America. We're talking about third world country.
But Ness, is it too far to say that we're not asking the whole fucking country
What's the exchange rate? No, because you guys are too naive. What's the exchange rate?
We're not asking the whole world.
What is the exchange rate?
The whole of Mexico.
Exactly.
Look,
specific.
Look, what I'm asking is, so then it's a fact that they raise on every farm cows with clenbuterol. It's fact.
Brother,
right?
I can't answer a question like that. All I can answer is that WADA conducted a survey, and the meat
percentage.
And the meat in Mexico is known to have clenbuterol, so they raise their levels. Not VADA. VADA is the voluntary anti-doping agency run by Margaret Goodman. People like Rue, you should be doing your own research. You should not be sounding the way you sound in these comments because, WBC only adapted what WADA is doing. The WBC doesn't have their own banned substance list. VADA doesn't have their own banned substance list. They use WADA's. They use WADA's. Yeah. So everybody's trying to get at VADA. VADA is just a testing facility. They don't even give you the results. They send it out. They just take the test. That's all VADA does. They take the test, but they're more thorough than anyone. But people are so lack of education, they just say anything.
Ignorance is bliss. But that still doesn't, in my book.
And I'm still trying to get Margaret Goodman on this show because there's a lot we can learn. There's a lot we can learn.
I don't think it's an excuse for the athletes, man. We're not asking the whole country to stop eating meat. We're just asking the athletes to be specific in their dieting. Look, all these sports organizations have been investigated.
1 Mexican peso equals 40 cents American. So there you go, bro. It's a third world country. You can't expect them to live on America's level. They're not.
Well, athletes can though.
Not all. Not all.
So, but it's
not everyone. Listen, not everyone is Canelo.
You're right.
Not everyone is Canelo. Not everyone can be held to the standard of you got a nutritionist, fly in your fucking your dietitian and your chef. Come on.
You 100% right. But what I'm saying, if you're an athlete with integrity and you want to be like how Nick was on the show just now, Nick Asbury was like, yo, I'm an athlete. I don't do no drugs, none of that shit. I don't even eat steak in my country. then that's what you have to do to get your integrity up as an athlete. Not eat the
Well, that's what
Mexican
Canelo did. Canelo did a hair follicle test, and now he's on 365 days. So what's the problem?
What does that mean? A hair follicle that he had in his fucking top of his drawer for like fucking God knows how long. We don't know, man. There's so many ways to manipulate this shit that it's just a fucking
So
rabbit
then
hole.
it's one giant conspiracy then.
It's not a conspiracy. What I'm saying is that things need to be more stringent in order for people not to be able to manipulate. Okay, you raised the hold on. You raised the clenbuterol levels now, right? You think these motherfuckers are not gonna find a way to microdose the fucking meat, huh? So that it doesn't show up? There's always gonna be a way to manipulate, bro.
Bro,
Shit's not
well,
fucking
first
fair,
of all, the minimum VADA test is around 30 grand. You know what I mean? You guys want to point the finger at WBC, at VADA for raising it. Start finding a way to source the test. Stop pointing the finger at the people that are actually taking the test. They're actually catching people. You find a way to get some sort of income for everyone to be tested more regularly then, okay?
Right. So
and that's how we will solve the problem.
So raising the level means they're allowing a little bit of clenbuterol in your system.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're Mexican, on top of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we don't even know how much, every individual, everybody's biochemistry is different. Everybody's going to react to that same exact maximum dosage that they're putting a limit to differently. So it's like, again, why not do away with it completely? We've put a man on the fucking moon. You can't get this right? Come on, man.
I hear you, man. The only thing you got to think about how extreme that is. Everybody's going to call in here with their ignorant call, but they're not going to think of how extreme it is to tell a fighter he can't eat meat. Because remember, you can't just say you can't eat meat for 4 or 8 weeks because then it's going to be considered cycling anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So now you want a fighter to automatically stop eating red fucking meat. Bro, I will get divorced before I stop eating red meat.
Politics and money keep
I'm
this
lying, babe.
We've been too nice to too many people. Bro, you get caught. Say, yo, I need that what is that meat that you ate from Japan, Enrique?
The wako. What's it called? The wako.
Some crazy expensive meat.
But the other one. The Waco, whatever.
Nah, man, this is just a
Which
situation.
Ain't even that great.
Listen. Let's go out to callers. People been waiting patiently. We had 2 very fantastic but long interviews. I'm sure people want to talk. We're going out to the callers. You know the number to call in: 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, if you are on air, that Patreon level for daily shows, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up, man? You can hear me?
Yeah, we got
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hello?
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm in this loud ass truck. That's why I'm at. Now, but good interview. I ain't hear the first interview. I heard the second one. Your boy was real live. He was burning. You know, he had a lot of energy. You know, like a lot of people said, I like him because he came on here and spoke the truth. A lot of fighters get on here. It's like they're trying to hide something, or they feel like they'll be cut out of jail if they don't speak on certain stuff. But I like to do an energy. Yeah, we got to have him back on the show. But like I said, good interview. That's all I got on that.
All right. I just want to take this time to remind a lot of you, that tell me like, oh, there's a fraction of people that ran with this, sentiment that the interviews are ruining the show. But today, all of a sudden, this is the prime example of the quote-unquote interviews that have been ruining the show. I don't want to listen to no up-and-coming prospect that nobody ain't never heard of, man. Who's this dude, man? Now, all of a sudden, everybody like, oh, what a great interview. This dude had great energy, even though he's 9-1-0, and no one's ever heard of him. It all depends the context, man. You got to let stories unfold. You know what I mean? So just sit down. I'm a Joel's Fantana.
had a
I'm a
story.
Joel's
He had-
Fantana.
Plus,
Yo,
anyway,
damn,
man.
cut me
this
off.
is
I
the
didn't even get my
future. This is
outro
the
on that.
future.
I had a little
My bad.
punchline with
My
Joel.
bad,
Nah, it's
bro. My
over.
bad. I stepped-
It's over. It's over.
It's over?
I had a little
Hold on.
punchline with Joel's and shit, but it's over. Fuck it. Go ahead. What you was about to say?
I had to hit the DJ scratch for you. Nah, I'm agreeing with it. For people that are kind of like having opinions on the interviews, like, bro, we're bringing you the future. We're bringing you the future of our sport. All the contender prospects, guys you've never heard about, guys that you want to get to know and want to get behind. This is what happens, and we just never know what we're gonna get. Each individual is different stories, different backgrounds. I'm telling you, man, the tale that was told today was very, very informative and eye-opening in my opinion.
And listen, and we got other people who've been outspoken. We got Steve Cunningham coming on. You know what I mean? We're always working. I heard some of the complaints are, oh, well, you guys are, sometimes you're knee deep in a good debate or a good conversation, and then it's time to get to an interview. But it's like I said, we're not chasing views anymore. We're chasing you. So there's no rush. It's about to be 12 o'clock and there's no rush. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be time for debate, but there should always be room for, like Doomy said, the future, the present and the past of the boxing, and the past is Steve Cunningham. He shared the ring with Tyson Fury, and he's been vocal, and he's going to be another guest. And the future are the prospects that you don't want to hear from because you never heard of until you see them on your television like Brandon Lee. And
knocking motherfuckers out.
You know what I mean? Why not get ahead of the curve, man? But we're going out to King Born. Talk to me, Oregon.
Hey, what's up going on, guys? Listen. That is the best interview of the whole year. I learned so much. He talking about the great white hope and all that. That is the most informative interview. You got to put that brother on, man, maybe by like next month, Ness. Come on. He and everybody know what's going on with Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Everybody know he a dirty gypsy cheater. Everybody know that. You know what I mean? But like Born Boxing, shout out to everybody on here today, on my truck drivers, JT, J-Mac, N.O., JD. Listen, people been cheating in boxing for years. Fury's just nice with it. He's green. So Wilder got to just go back to the basics and lay that man out and get back to the business and knock AJ out. That's it, y'all.
All right, King Born, thanks for calling in. We're going out to, what's up? You got something?
Nah. He had, I swear to God, for a half a second, bro, my man sound like Tracy Morgan, bro. Had me fucked up.
Is that true, Enrique? Enrique works side by side.
Yeah,
Nah, not really. It's just a Brooklyn thing. That's it.
It's a Brooklyn thing?
Yeah.
Shit, man. I lit up for a second. I'm like, huh?
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
It's like, people from Philly, they be using the same words and they like kind of got that accent. Like, they'll be like, I still don't know how to say John.
You seen though, right? He said it. The caller said it, man. He said, you know what I'm saying? It was very informative, man. Like I said, it takes a lot of courage to speak your mind in this game, bro.
Definitely, because you're gonna get looked at funny. You're gonna get blacklisted. I want to remind everybody, if you're on your Patreon page or you're on Patreon.com and you can't see anything new, if for whatever reason the last post you see is more than 24 hours old, you're out of date. There's something wrong with your credit card or your payment info. Double check it. We post multiple times a day. Every single day. I'm getting messages. They charge every first of the month. So, that's where that confusion comes. You got to make sure your card is, good. If it's a credit card, you're good because they just keep billing you. If it's a debit card, obviously you got to make sure you got enough funds. PayPal account, same thing. Make sure you got enough funds. But we are definitely putting out content multiple times a day and a lot of new free posts too. So if you are just listening to this 7 to 10 days later and you just want to take a look at what's going on, definitely check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/TheBoxingVoice. And also Enrique just put out some new content on his absolutely free as well. And you can check out his shirt and apparel company. I don't want to say shirt because that's boxing him in when he's doing much more than that. Even though I haven't gotten anything new other than the stuff I paid for Border Wars. And he, what was that, Jerking You Records? He jerked me for my #1 Border Wars heavyweight shirt. Never got it.
And that design he's rocking right now was mine for free.
Back
so
in the day.
go patreon.com.
Back in the day.
/boxing fan apparel, and you will see some apparel.
I should go to
and
the
some video, stuff like that.
I should go to the video so they can see the shirt.
I need my 2020 line.
Yo, actually, I want you to send me the PNG of the Border Wars winner so I could throw it on a hoodie. I want that on a hoodie. Even though it's getting hot, it's about to be summer, but I still want that hoodie, you know what I'm saying? Let me go out to Bomb Boxing. What's going on? You still just listening, champ? Going once. Those verses. All right, we going to Sid, Orlando, Atlanta, all over. What it do? Just listening. Okay. Going out to J Mac on a boomerang.
Yo, don't worry about that counter punch because I wanted it right after you was trying to plead your Canelo case. Nuts, you in the wrong business. You should sign up for a defense attorney. And you, of all people, like to call people ignorant. Ignorant is another form of being ignorant is ignoring the truth and being in denial. And you sit up here and
You only want me to look at one truth.
Hey, you sit up here and tell somebody like Ru, he need to educate himself. Motherfucker, you need to educate yourself. You making excuses for people and reasons why they can cheat and stuff like that. And you know the dude fucking cheating.
So
and you
the
just
whole
wanted to
country's
get past,
cheating?
and you all getting
Is the whole country cheating?
all getting a hair follicle.
Is
you
the whole
all getting a
country
hair
cheating?
follicle with it. Man, whatever, nigga.
So
like
what about
I said,
other
you all
sports?
getting a hair follicle.
Mexicans
now you
and
cut
other
me off so I
sports?
can't get my call off, and
I'll
you be
give
on
you
this
more
motherfucker
time.
talking all
I'll
day.
give you more
Like,
time. You know
hey,
that.
Just like a hair follicle, and you know a hair follicle could have been passed and how they run it, man. The dude cheated, simple fact or not, whether you want to accept it or not. You want to keep living and rubbing your wishing ball of Canelo and shit like that under your fucking bed. Nigga, I don't know what it is with your weird obsession with him. It gets real weird. You always call me out on my buzz shit, but on your Canelo shit, it's like you on some fruit of balloon type shit with this nigga, man.
All right, so
the
listen.
dude cheated. He ate the fucking meat.
Listen. I faded you out because you're already at 115, right? So now I'm going to give you extra time. I would like to ask you some questions. So since you think he ate the meat, what about other athletes in Mexico that have tested positive that do not box? Are they cheating too?
I don't. Are you? Am I back talking?
Yes, you are.
I'm back talking.
Yes, you are.
Guess what? I don't give a fuck about that athlete.
Exactly.
Guess who tested
So that
30?
is the ignorance that I'm talking about. I can't have a conversation with you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to box yourself in and only think of clenbuterol when it pertains to boxing, that is your issue, and I can't debate with you. If other sports and athletes are testing positive for clenbuterol in Mexico, then there's some sort of epidemic, right? There's something happening out there. It's not just Canelo. It hasn't been just Canelo. But that's how you want to paint it because, yes, your ignorance. You don't want to Google clenbuterol in Mexico. You don't want to do that. You just want to call in and waste your call. That's so fine with me. You know what I mean? I've Googled clenbuterol in Mexico. Take a look. Trey in a Bay Boomerang.
Trey in the Bay.
Can y'all hear me or am I what up, guys? Can y'all hear me or am I breaking up?
Nah, you're good.
All right. Yeah, hey man, Fury funny too on the main topic was Wilder just fighting because he needed the money. Come on, Fury, man. I don't know. I don't think Wilder need the money. It seemed like he pretty smart. You know, them country boys know better than blowing their money on all type of weird shit, man. I also think on the clenbuterol, man. I mean, either way, I mean, come on, man. It's obvious, boy. That boy went up to 175, man, and it was stacked, bro. Built, buffed in a motherfucker, man. Come on, it's only obvious. It's only obvious. But that's my second call.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Did anybody Google clenbuterol, meat? Look, 2016, what year did Canelo pop?
Wasn't it 18?
Okay, so here's an article from 2016. Let's see, where is this? Let's see. Damn, I just scrolled and I missed it now. Okay, here it goes. And this is from USADA. Beautiful. 2016, USADA. Let's see what they're talking about here. The use of clenbuterol. The use of clenbuterol as a growth promoting substance in animal husbandry, beef, pork, lamb, or poultry. In Mexico, in China, and in Guatemala has led to numerous positive anti-doping tests over the past decade. Ignorance is just another word for laziness. So Google decade so you can know how many years are in a decade. Remember that Canelo popped before this article, okay? Originally released in 2011, all right? From usada.org, where information can be found. You know, losers like to point the finger. Get in there and win. I'm not going to read anymore because I don't have to do the research for you, you know. But I can tell you that new rules effective June 1st in 2019 ensure that clenbuterol meat contamination cases are resolved in a way that most fair to the athlete. I wonder why they're being fair to the athletes that come from Mexico, China, and Guatemala. I wonder why. But, you know, I'm here to school you, bro. You could get schooled.
I mean, okay, so
yeah, take his side. So I got somebody to pound on.
So you're in total agreement that because the meat markets are tainted, that they should have that level risen a little bit. Just that you're in agreement with that. That it's okay.
Absolutely, especially
it's okay because it's been part of other sports for a while. It's okay. It's not okay.
So then find the resources to move every athlete that chooses to, you know, do any professional sport in those 3 countries so far that USADA has highlighted, and find them relocation places. Get your ass out of here with the retardedness.
Relocation bases, bro. You act like a cow can't be born and raised without fucking clenbuterol. Like you can't have farmhouses specifically for the sports stars to eat meat that's not big.
Wow, specifically for the sports stars. Bro, but what about the up-and-comer? What about the up-and-comer? What about the up-and-comer, though? His system's going to be tainted. His system's going to be, when he becomes a contender, and he finally starts getting...
We're talking about professional athletes, man.
Bro, so a contender's not a professional athlete?
Stop trying to make shit up.
What are you
talking
saying?
about professional athletes, whether you're a contender, a champion, a prospect, professional athletes who have backing. All right? You're not going to tell me because all these regions have this and their population eats like this, it's okay for the athletes who compete. I'm not talking about the population who doesn't fucking compete. I'm talking about the people who compete in a professional sport. You're going to tell me that you can't find fucking meat houses that don't do that, because I'll tell you right now, not all Mexican meat houses have that. There's a percentage of the meat houses in Mexico that have stock with clenbuterol in their systems. It's not all of them. So don't give me that shit.
Bro. Okay, man. Whatever. Did you Google something? Did you Google something? Because that would be your best bet.
About this when Canelo came out. When Canelo first came out with the clenbuterol, we went into this very deep.
And that's the problem right there. That's 2018. I'm bringing up an article from 2011 telling you that they've backdated the high clenbuterol levels in those 3 specific countries. They backdated it a decade.
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
All right, so all I'm saying is stop criminalizing Canelo when people have been testing positive for over a decade from these 3 countries.
I personally am not criminalizing him, but I'm holding him responsible. As an elite multi-million-dollar athlete, I'm going to hold him responsible. And I'm going to hold him to the ethics of this sport, all right, which are walked through very, very much so all the time. Big Juicy, back in boxing. Tyson Fury, back in boxing. These guys don't get the punishment that'll define where our sport is going in the future. It's not happening, man. And I relate to Nick Asbury so fucking much, bro, because there's so much shit that goes behind the scenes. It's time to clean up the sport. It's time to clean it up, man. People are dying. R.I.P. Patrick Day. Come on, champ.
Chinese livestock farmers began using clenbuterol in pig feed in the late 1980s to boost growth and get animals to the market faster.
It's probably in America too, though.
We don't even know. I haven't done the study if it's in America.
They did say that there was steroids in chicken, remember?
They do. They pump them with antibiotics and shit. But I mean, clenbuterol, the thing about clenbuterol is that it really helps you as an athlete. So, I mean, I don't know if there's other steroids and maybe antibiotics that might affect the body, but I'm pretty sure it's negative effect. It's not a positive effect on
Let me ask you, what's the long-term effect if they've been giving livestock clenbuterol since the 80s? Wouldn't you say that all the animals in those countries are tainted? Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say that.
But I can't say that. You got to go up and look at the information that we looked at when we first looked at the Canelo case, which we wanted to know how much of the meat houses were infected. I can get you the actual number right now if I look into it, but it wasn't 100% of the meat houses using this, and I think it's given to the stock in order for them to get bigger, to get bigger or just to actually say the exact thing. I'm looking it up now if you guys want to just parlay real quick, because I don't like just throwing any information out there just to throw it out there.
Well, you should.
And I quote, I am an athlete who respects the sport, and this surprises me and bothers me because it has never happened to me. I will submit to all tests that require me to clarify this embarrassing situation, and I trust at the end, the truth will prevail.
Who's that from?
Alvarez told the Associated Press on this matter. Huh? And Daniel, I can't even pronounce his last name, is like Eicherner, director of the World Anti-Doping Agency, also known as WADA, an accredited laboratory that conducts the tests, stated these values are within the range of what is expected for meat contamination. So are we to say that WADA, who obviously does way more than just boxing, are they also covering it up for Canelo? Did they also receive a check? Did he also get paid to make this statement? You fucking conspiracy theorists? Your violins, where's your violins at? Fucking crybabies.
I'm not taking it that far. I'm not going to take it that far.
Canelo is a cheater, but we can't beat him. Ooh.
Look, man, look, and I'm not attacking Canelo specifically, man. You know what I'm saying? The man has skills. I'm not, to all the guys out there that are probably like, yeah, I'm siding with you. I'm not siding with you that, that's what won him the fight.
Oh my goodness! Listen to Ru. If that was the case, every Mexican boxer would pop. Don't you understand? That's why I'm saying, if y'all, instead of pointing a finger, let's look for a way to find the source, the funds. Don't you understand that only at the top level they get tested? It costs $30,000 to test, man. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? $30,000 for one fighter. Of course, Jaime Munguia, his whole fucking career before he burst on the scene, never did VADA. Of course. He had 19, 20 fights in Mexico. Of course.
Is that a contractual agreement, Ness?
Brother, you got to pay. You got me and you gonna fight. Listen, if me and you gonna fight, I gotta say I want VADA. And now that I say it, now we gotta figure out who's gonna pay, because the promoters don't want to pay. The promoters want the fighters to pay. This shit gets fucking ugly. That's what I'm saying. There's no education. I just can't keep saying shit. I'm trying to get the right people on the show.
Why is it $30,000? Why is it so expensive? Because they come to you, they stay around.
It's also random.
Facing the champion, I'm not gonna pay for it because I can't afford it. And then maybe the champ or whoever the fuck I'm fighting, maybe they got
And here's ya, and I'm encapsulating everyone. I'm generalizing everyone. Ya ignorance is to blame the WBC, who's actually doing something. Remember when I tell you the test costs $30,000, but the WBC chooses to test randomly the top 15 in all their divisions that if you're sanctioned with them. But the test costs 30. But no, the WBC.
Yeah, I don't think
2
the
years
test
ago
alone cost 30. I think the service of following and being on.
I'm sure, but it costs 30. I've interviewed enough to know that the number's 30.
Yeah, but not just right now. If I call VADA and say, I want to get a test, they're going to like, yo, all right, $30,000. I think it's more than that.
When it pertains to boxing, all the people we've interviewed, it's about 30,000, brother. We can start acting it purposely just for this.
Boxers don't even get paid $30,000 sometimes for their fucking fight. How the fuck are they supposed to even get a test?
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
Nah, it's more than 30, man. I mean, there's more to it. Just getting that needle injected.
Listen, instead of me doing all the scheduling, you can actually contact VADA and WADA. They got a website. You can get the phone numbers of these people. You can put in daily calls like me until you get someone. I want Margaret Goodman. She's in charge of VADA, the voluntary anti-doping agency. But we can start with someone in WADA, the world anti-doping agency. You know, that's nothing. We can go there. But I want answers. I want answers.
Margaret, who you said?
Margaret Goodman. Margaret
and
Goodman.
That's for WADA though, right?
That is for VADA, which is better. In my opinion, VADA actually catches people. Every time a fighter does VADA, WADA, like you see WADA, they raise their levels more. They're more broad because they're dealing with all sports. VADA was created independently by Margaret. I know some people don't like it because some way, somehow, there's some ties to this guy. What's his name? Victor Conti. I don't know what ties, but he is an activist for them or advocates for them. But VADA, I like the best. They caught Lamont Peterson. They caught someone, right? When Bertha was gonna fight, someone got caught.
They're pretty good at
they always catch somebody. VADA is who's popping people for real. You know, who popped you? VADA. Separate the weak testing agency from the real ones. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's going down. Who popped you? VADA. All right, let me see. I got Juan in the BX. What up?
What's good, fellas?
What up?
Yo, just listening to all y'all talking shit, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. But yeah, that dude that did the interview and shit, I don't know if he was a boxer, a trainer, a manager, or whatever, but motherfucker had the same energy I be waking up with every morning. I like that shit. He kept me awake. Shit. Wiring up this house all day, pretty much.
Oh, you an electrician?
Appreciate y'all dudes. Yeah, I'm an electrician. Even though I be boxing and they always catch me, but this is what I do.
But wait, electrician, like you put in your own?
Yeah, I wire your houses. Oh. Yeah, I'm doing the whole house right now. I do everything from
New
scratch.
York, though, right?
To the end.
New York?
Yeah, New York.
You licensed?
Yep.
But you got New York code, though. You ain't working Jersey, right? Because the code is different.
Nah. I mean, I could get a permit and shit to work over there in Jersey as well.
That's what's up, man. That's a fantastic job,
I could get permission.
Man. That's a good job. Very good pay.
My boy just dropped.
Definitely. You heard that shit, right? And this motherfucker started to drill now too. You heard that drop? And then this guy is all day quiet as fuck, and then shit, bro. They have us wearing all types of shit because New York is the worst for that virus and shit.
Right.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie though, I'm not 100% safe. Yeah, I just stay away from everybody, but I don't like wearing masks and none of that shit in my face. That shit does bother. I can't even breathe without it, and then I smoke weed like a motherfucker. So with it, that's a pain in the ass.
That shit a pain in the ass.
So at night, if your throat feel itchy, do you be like, damn, man, I should have wore a mask?
Nah. Normally my throat don't feel itchy. You know why? Because I fucking smoke weed, bro. That's the cure to that bitch.
Word.
My shit doesn't. Hell yeah, I be feeling good as day all day, bro. You crazy? You smoke that L, you get well.
Damn.
If you don't, you going to hell.
You gotta smoke.
Wow, man. Thanks for calling in. Nah, I feel the same way. I'll be like, I don't even get like head colds, man. Like you
Yo,
know.
Ness's recommendation when I got like a stuffy nose, Joe, just exhale out your nose,
Out
bro.
your nose, man. Keep the nasal passages clear, and you ain't gonna experience none of that weird, congestion. None of that, bro. I mean, I don't know. It works for me. Listen, me and Bob Marley. Look, Bob Marley had cancer in his leg, and he was like, "Yo, I'm good. Yo, I'm smoking. I don't feel it. Like, no, we gotta amputate." He's like, "Nah, I play soccer, dog. I'm keeping this." And he lasted for mad long. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, I could be dreaming. It is what it is, but. Yeah, man. That's everybody. We got to our boomerangs. I'm gonna try bomb boxing again. He's been busy, and I feel like I did get the stone bone. I know I got the stone bone, right? Stone bone. Bomb boxing. What's up? You still busy? Con una vez, dos veces. All right, there you go.
Nah, I'm here.
What up, champ?
I was digging that hour and a half interview. That boy was on it, man. He was hurting, certain about the shit popping off. But when it comes to the steroid, man, it's all about personal responsibility, whether it be albuterol in your meat. I mean, you know about that shit already. He knows. He grew up there. He knows about it. But even without it, you know Canelo's a beast. So I don't even worry too much about it. But it's just all about personal responsibility at the end of the day. But you already know. You already know Fury's out there clowning, trolling, trying to get under his skin already right before the fight. So, that's what I see. But I'm going to get back at it, y'all. I'm going to listen.
All right, brother. Thank you. Let me see. That is everybody. Yo, today is Untitled, 7 p.m. Eastern, unless that changes with these gentlemen, but I'm pretty sure 7 p.m. works better for everybody.
I'm here, man. You in, Doomy? You in, Doomy?
Doomy be sleeping, bro.
I'm going Rick. You know me, Rick Flair on you. Woo! Yeah, I'm there. I'm here.
Where Mario? Where he went?
He went down the tunnel. He under the pipes collecting coins right now.
Mario. Nah, but that was a good show, man. Yo, I set my alarm every morning, Monday through Friday, for like 7:40. And then I just snooze and I start dreaming and it feels like 10 minutes past. But when I wake up, it's like 9:05.
Bro, yes.
Bro, yo, I got to get off quarantine, bro, because, like, I'm just sleeping and eating, man.
Bro, I looked at my belly today. I was like, nah, man.
Yo, I had oxtail yesterday. I made it in a slow cooker.
Damn,
and
you made your own?
steak. Huh?
You made your own oxtail?
Hell yeah.
Yo, you nice with it.
I made oxtail. I had steak. I had red wine. I had vegan ice cream.
Red wine.
I had vegan ice cream with cream soda in it.
Yo, vegan ice cream.
I was like,
I'm eating vegetarian. My girl made some slamming ass flautas. This Hello Fresh we've been getting. Shit is official, bro.
What's a flauta?
Flauta is
fish,
like
right?
Say it again.
Fish, right?
No, a flauta is like it's like a burrito kind of thing. But I don't know where the culture flauta comes from, but it's basically like a tortilla with but it's vegetarian, sweet potatoes. It's just intricate shit, man. But the way the HelloFresh box comes, it's just like everything's just separated. I actually like it better.
Oh, if you want to hear more talk just like that, where we're talking not just boxing, but a little bit of everything, catch us at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight for Untitled. If you haven't already put your topic or suggestion for a conversation in the post, head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Do that. Catch us there. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs, Instagram and Twitter. And I want to thank everybody. We are officially at, I believe, 301 Patreons. So up and down, there's always going to be some fluctuation. A lot of people got to check their credit cards and stuff. So if you haven't been receiving this show, you know you got to check your payment info.
Bars.
I am TBV_Casu fan on Twitter, TBV_Casu fan on YouTube, and my Patreon page is patreon.com. Boxing Fan Apparel. I'm about to go put a video I'm going to edit tonight, today, so I can post up tonight. Peace.
Champ! And you can catch me on IG. It's Alex Doomsday. Linez, that's Alex_Doomsday_Linez. Twitter, Alex Linez TBV, and Patreon. Well, I got one, but I never posted. The energy's here on the Boxing Voice. So catch us back on Untitled. And what topics we're gonna have, I have no idea. But you can always count on Doomy.
Tiger King is a good
Put a
one.
little
we definitely want talking Tiger King.
Yo, that shit was hot, right?
Bro, these motherfuckers is wild, bro.
The lifestyle is crazy.
Damn, champ, this shit's crazy.
Chill.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Too soon, dog. We gotta wait. Latest.
BoxingFanApparel.com.